Well met.
So we want to hear as many like viewpoints as possible. We'll probably do one guest at a time though. Like I think I'll have Radesh and Snazir in here all the time, and then we'll do like one guest at a time, and hear them out. Since we have some guests here already, we can like start with them. We could probably start now, right? Radesh, you good?
Okay.
We can hear. We can probably do yours and mine and Snazir's thoughts later, since the guests are already here.
Okay, we can
And
talk,
see
I
what they say.
guess.
Yep.
So
I'll bring one guy in. Wait. I was
we
thinking of bringing one guest in.
okay, one guest. Okay.
Yeah. So we'll just hear their thoughts about the patch.
Okay.
But I'll do.
Just
was it L
let me
here?
know when I can yap. It's like
Yep. We'll try this first. See how it goes.
So who is this? Is this Love
Love
Lives?
Lives?
Okay.
Hello.
Hello.
Oh, nice. What's up, man?
Hello.
Yeah, hello. We can hear you. Can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Okay, okay. So how's the weather, guys? Wait, what?
Okay.
How do we break
Well,
the
do
ice?
you wanna?
How do we initiate the
Do you
conversation?
wanna? Do you wanna like maybe you could tell your rank or how much you've been playing or whatever or what you're playing?
I started like top 300 before
Yeah.
the patch, like, let's say when patch started, I was top 300, but um I spammed a lot of games. I'm pretty sure a lot of people did, and I dropped a lot of ranks, but
Yeah. What are you playing? What hero?
I was playing dually mostly just to like what you call it, test dually to see if it was still playable.
Yeah. And how do
Um
you feel about it?
I think dually is playable in a way. It's consistent. The red cores are very good. Companion core is also good, I say, because the Belay engine is good in my opinion.
Bellista?
Um, yeah, Ballista.
Okay.
Um, you could use the dinosaur as a disrupt. To disrupt Vanessa or Pig.
Okay, yeah, dude, I love Diana. Diana has always been like a super fun card. Or item rather.
Um, I
She's
think
yeah.
I do think that Vanessa is like very very strong this patch though, because like the day one is very strong. The weapons is like a good auto burst for day one, and then going forward is like the turtle, the infinite obviously um is really strong.
You feel Vanessa Day 1 is strong?
Hold up, Drag's Nazarin. He's here.
I think it's
Alright.
yeah, Vanessa day one is strong because like I said, the weapons is pretty good. If you hit, or if you could hit like strength, the strength skill, plus 20,
Yeah.
it's pretty strong. Um, and yeah, I just think Vanessa's very very good this patch.
Yeah. Okay. Nice. So you played Vanessa and Dooley, and yeah, we got
Haven't played,
some info there.
yeah, I haven't played it. Pig.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you're like me. Yeah. All right. Thanks for your thoughts. Wait, did you have anything else that you wanted to say? Something
Um,
like
I'll
overview
just say
maybe of the
that
patch.
I think, yeah, just played Vanessa and Dooley. Like I said, Dooley is also, like I said, very strong. Like I said, Dinosaur being a big interruption
Is
for
Diana
what
really that real? Like I feel like that the turtle. Okay, at least okay. The pig combo is like pretty flimsy. I feel like the Vanessa combo feels like fairly sturdy. Like even if you kill like one small item, it's not enough, is it? Like it's still going afterwards, no? Or
honestly. So what I've done is when I played the companion core dually, you could run the bulldozer, belly, even the bulldozer, belly, and dinosaur. It could even be the small or the big one. A diamond, a diamond, the diamond bulldozer will put your core at around like three second CD. Um, and you're casting like very, very, very fast. So you already have like the ballista's damage output is crazy, and then by that time, if you bump into a Vanessa or a pig, they're already dead. Um,
Okay, but
and
what's the plan B to this kind of comp? Like if you miss on your keepers, like miss on ballista, let's say, what's the plan B to that situation? What do you do?
okay, so let's say you don't hit a belly for example, right, which I don't know, like it's hard to find belly, but let's say you don't find belly, you could play lizard in a way to like try to um balance you out to get you to the belly, but lizard does good damage, I think.
Yeah, Lizard
Be-
is kind of okayish. I feel like. I mean, it's a bit slow. Like it's got a long cooldown, but it
yeah,
scales the poison
but
very fast as well. Like
it kills the poison really
yeah, it's
fast.
kind of fine against like those like shield combs, like against the turtle combo stuff. It's like it out poisons the bufferfish easily, right? So you can win in
Mm-hmm.
fatigue, like you win before
Yeah, in the
fatigue rather.
beginning.
I
Mm-hmm.
think it's
Yeah.
fine. Yeah, like
Okay.
it's nice.
Okay. Snazzer is here now, so
Yeah.
uh, yeah, Lovelies.
Welcome.
Thank you, man.
Thank you.
We'll go through Snazzer and Radish first, and then we can bring chatters in that challenges our positions, basically.
I'll
So
be
we'll
listening
put
first, though.
yeah, yeah.
All right.
Uh, okay. Thank you, man.
Yep.
All right. Yo, hey, Snazzer.
Hello. Welcome. Thank you for having us here, or me here.
Yeah.
It's fine.
You just woke
I'm
up,
also
Dave?
thankful. So that's correct. The correct way to
Yeah, I was
speak.
like, okay, I cannot talk for not for you, sir. So I was like, yeah, okay, whatever. Yeah,
I am also thankful. We are welcome. We concur. It's fine.
Taxon, will chat be able to ask specific questions? Yeah, you can probably do it later. Let's just go through. Let me just talk with Radesh and Snazzer first, and then you guys can ask questions, I think. Let's do like overview first. Like, what do you guys think is like what is this patch? You know, like what is happening here? Like just as an overview.
So I think they changed quite a lot up, right? They put basically a charging meta in, and they gave us a lot of new skills, and that means like especially with how it is like at the moment shifting, I feel like it's a little bit more rock paper scissor like because for example if you play like your Vanessa turtle shell game, as soon as your opponent gets like what is it, shield bash I think called the weapon skill, um, you are basically dead because you're killing yourself from your opponent, and so there's a lot of different counters now, or like the freeze skill for example is kind of good if there were like full freeze builds going around. So I think what they the main thing that changes this meta in general is we do not see the same consistency anymore. Because you always find someone who's kind of in the position to counter you with different skills. And still, it's a little bit high rolly because different builds need sometimes a little bit more setup. Like you cannot find Bella Lister, or you do not find Shield Bash, or you play one weapon Vanessa and you're not hitting the two skills that will make sure your opponent dies in 3 or 4 seconds. And then obviously you feel not good about that. But this is how it is. And I think the main thing is we have to acknowledge probably that the same win rates we had earlier will not occur in this patch. I'm quite confident for now, unless there are changes that this will
I
be
mean, yeah,
the case.
the last patch was just MMR farm because like last patch it felt so free, right? Like you just like right now in this patch I feel it's very hard to like fill your board with good items. Like last patch by day 2 you had like you could have like your like nearly end game board, like the items, not the rarity but the items themselves, like the end game board be on the board by day 2 basically. Like day 2 fight you have like Uzi, you have your Ray, you have your Beta Ray, you have like all the comp basically in play. Right now it's like your day 2 board is like maybe like 1 or 2 items in the end game already. And it's like it feels hard to feel board with like real items. I feel like the early game is interesting. It's rough. It's like I can't
There's
tell
yeah.
if I'm playing the early game right now because half the time it's like it's paid actor. It's like everyone has a shit early game. It's like I can't tell who's like a real opponent and who's not. I mean, I guess I can tell, but like it's am I playing it
Yeah.
correctly? Am I playing it not correctly? I can't tell if I'm playing it right now. The early game, it's hard.
There's like one exceptions, kinda, and that's like weapons dueling, because you only need to go to like the red cores. You basically only need to go hopefully to 1-2 weapon shops to get like your Tesla coil, your pulse rifle, and your Alpha Ray, and maybe like a Chris Army knife.
Yeah, no, crit core
And
is
then
fairly still fine. Like I think it's probably
yeah,
just the same as it was before patch. I was playing a lot of crit core at the end of the last patch, and I was like okay-ish. It was not that as great, but as other stuff, but it was fine. And now it's like the same stuff, like or even maybe slightly better than before, and it's consistent. It was consistent before as well. Now it's as well consistent. I think it's pretty good that comp, honestly. My issue is how does that comp develop into the late game? Like how do you scale
yeah.
it into the late game is my question.
Yeah, so I played this comp quite a bit, and I had the same issue. And then yesterday I talked a little bit with like 2 players. It was Prismat and Eisiger Hauch. He's like a viewer in Prismat stream, so it was like early this morning kinda. And they are convinced that it is still good in the later mid game. Obviously, if you go to day 12ish, you're screwed because then you're definitely falling off. But so the main idea there is to find the right skills, find scaling skills, as well as find a haste source. Either like you enchant your core or you find a haste skill, and then the combo, like the build is not falling that hard off, and you can still like win day 8ish to day 11ish.
Yeah, I guess
But
the enchant
I had
is
the issue.
big. The enchant is big on that comp, right? Because you can
Yeah.
find like a deadly, which is pretty good. Like a deadly metronome or something, it's obscene. If you find like haste on your core, it's pretty OP because the critical goes a lot, right? It's very high uptime on the haste, I think, right?
Yeah, so that is what I think is at the moment kind of consistent. But other than that, you're struggling because you need to find so many pieces on different combos, or like for the companion core. I mean, if you find your Bella Lister early, you're like in a very, very good spot. But it's the same as last patch with missiles. You couldn't guarantee missiles because the pool is just too big. And then if you don't hit your Bella Lister, you either search for it quite a bit, and then you're not power leveling as everyone else, don't get the skills, or you never find it, and well, you're anyway in a little bit of struggle. I mean, you can compensate with like Brick Buddy and other stuff and here and there, or play like a race call in between, or even a Tesla call, but it's not the same strength and consistency.
Yeah.
Guys, can we talk about XP? So if we go into the XP topic, obviously if you have a good board early, you can go for a lot of XP, right? And if you don't have a good board, you're missing out on a lot of XP.
That's always been the issue
How do you
in this
guys feel
game.
about that?
Like,
Yeah, how do you
it's
guys feel
always
about that?
my theory has always been that your board should be done by day 6, or like on day 6 you should be like almost done, or like your shops went down like massively in value, because on day 6 and 7 and such, it's gold items in the shop, it's lower odds that you're good items to upgrade. It's pretty hard. Like that's been always the case in my opinion, and it's always been a disadvantage to like miss in the early game on your key pieces and have to like dig on like day 6, 7, 8, and like look for stuff, like clicking like value nodes like plus money, plus skills, plus XP, etc. Like it's always been an issue in this game, and now it's like the same stuff, I
Yeah.
guess, or maybe even worse. But like, yeah, it's
I-
weird.
I think a few things changed, right? So first of all, in this matter, I'm like not opposed anymore to make sure you level on day 1 if you can even remotely justify it. There's like maybe 1 or 2 exceptions, but in general, I will try to pick experience,
Oh, yeah.
especially day 1, because
think-
obviously, yeah,
You have to be level 2 on day 1 now. I think like it's imperative
Yeah.
to be level 2 on day 1, and that kind of change
Yeah,
a lot of
exactly.
things as well. Like because you have like only one shop, which is a bit RNG actually, because you have to like click the XP nodes when you see them, and then you have like one random shop you have to click to get your items. So like you want like you're starting to be like an item that can be like solo carry kind of on Vanessa and Pig at least. So like I don't know, that's interesting. The current day one meta.
Yeah, so that is something that changed, because before that I was like, yeah, sure you can sometimes. And then like on a broader aspect, let's start by what changed there. I think the main reason to understand is you can first of all very reliable and easily click the middle button in the middle event, and you get experience or a monster fight, because kinda um since the skill trainers got removed, the pool is very narrow now, and you have like a lot more options to take XP than before, like crazily more. Like you can see it obviously, right? So even whether it was intended or not, that you get like sometimes after the PvP fight for or level up or whatever, one extra XP. The general amount of XP available has increased drastically. And the second thing is that obviously the level up rewards, especially later on, like obviously already like day 7 or like not day 7, level 7, got like kind of improved. But also if you are like 2-3 levels ahead of your opponent, you have like 2 gold skills and maybe in diamond skill ahead of your opponent. So I feel like leveling is super important, and you get a lot of strength, not only
Yeah,
the HP but also the access to upgrades and skills.
I mean, most importantly though, it's the enchant at 10. Like I've lost, I think, a bunch of fights these past few days on just like being like my opponent having their skill, their enchant rather ahead of me. Like I'm like 9.9 level 9.9. They
Yeah.
have their enchant. I
So
don't have my enchant. And
yeah,
they're like
enchant as well. So
they
I feel
crash me,
like
right?
it's yeah.
They
Pardon?
crash me with the enchant. Like it's an obscene advantage having that shit. Like
Yeah.
the
But
10.
like even if you like in general go ahead of the curve, right? I mean, if you're just getting ahead of like let's say the average opponent, and you're like 2 levels ahead or 3 levels ahead, you have like a decent amount of extra HP and a decent amount of extra upgrades or skills. And that alone should give you quite a bit of an edge, even if you maybe miss one piece. I mean, sure, later days, infinite combos coming in, and then you're like struggling again. But as long as you don't face infinite combos that are fully working, like you get a huge edge if you have like 3 levels more.
Yeah, but I think like that's sort of the case only if you're playing a class like that's why Dooley was kind of like pretty gnarly beforehand, was because you could find a decent, not like the best, but a decent board fairly reliably and easy in the early game. Like you could slap stuff together fairly easily on Dooley last meta at least, or maybe on this meta as well. But on like Vanessa and Pig, I feel like it's not that easy because like yeah, on one hand, yeah, like you're like levels ahead, that's a big advantage. But on the other hand, like if half your board is useless, like you have like useless filler items on the board that don't do anything, it's you're still a lot weaker than if you had the higher levels, and it's like it's hard to find those like useful items put in play very easily in the early mid game. So you have like to dig in the shop like a fucking raccoon to get the to get your board in play. It feels terrible to me sometimes. I don't know.
Yeah, I like let's I feel like this might be the reason why Dooley might still be strong, because Dooley can just go to one weapon shop and then or like 2 weapon shops,
Yeah,
and
like
then you're good to go,
Ayla
right?
is OP.
So especially like just I want to point out, even if you're playing like let's say a companion core and you're missing out your friends, you can still pick up all the weapons and later shift into a combat core, for example, and get your 10-1 in. So you can even do the I go for weapons play if you don't find anything else on other cores, because it's actually quite fine to play the same crit core with a combat core. It is turning out to be similarly strong, I feel like.
Dude.
Yeah.
The combat
So
core
guys,
meta. We're in combat core
yeah.
meta, confirmed. By rank 1 and rank 3, corroborated. It is officially combat core meta.
Okay, so you both agree that builds that can get their board going really fast, like you don't need core pieces, you don't need to like go in like a raccoon and searching for your pieces. Like builds that get the build going, fast. They are probably better because you can get more XP faster, right? You agree with that, or?
I mean, it depends, right? I mean,
Today, for example, today I've been playing Pig. Yesterday was Vanessa, today is Pig Day. I'm playing like outside both. Today I played a game where I had a Regal Blade start, and I wanted to okay, have Regal Blade, but it's not like a real comp. Is it like I feel like it falls off against like the tank up builds later on, like just the turtle stuff, that stuff. Like it's not fast enough in the mid game. I feel like in the late mid game. like days 7, 8, and 9, for example, is kind of like falling off the Regal Blade. So I was like, okay, let's hedge for Bushel, for example. So I'm gonna go into Bushel, and I learned today that Bushel is fucking terrible because they removed all the shields from the game. There's no one shield items in the game. Like, how do you shield up? Like, there's no fucking enabler for it. The fucking Bushel, like, it's so terrible actually. So I learned today that Bushel is trash. But yeah, like it's you have to like play for a certain item kind of right now because it's hard to pivot. Also, a real issue is money. I'm so poor. There is no money in this game right now. Like there's no economy. It's even on Pig. It's like I feel poor sometimes. Actually, on Vanessa especially, but on Pig, like even on Pig sometimes I feel poor. Like there's no monster. There's no more like +6 gold on day 4 from the level up. It feels. I feel like I'm a freaking I don't know street rat.
I mean, it depends a little bit how much you're looking for items. Like
Yeah.
obviously, if you're looking for items quite a bit, you get poor really easy, like on every hero, I would say. But if you play more, like I tried to play Vanessa, like I don't know if it's correct, just to be clear here. But I tried to play her a little bit more that you start on with weapons. You get like cheap bronze skills that give you hopefully a few little bit of weapon damage in, and then you only pivot like in the mid game day 5ish when you also are more reasonable to see silver items towards your turtle shell. And then in the early 5 days you just pick your XP options and fights, and then you get quite a little bit of more gold in your bank account, and then it's not feeling that bad anymore. But if you try obviously to roll early or buy early or play Pygmalion and do scaling stuff, I think like this economy is kind of hard again because they have like a lot more money sinks in and not as much income and money generation.
Yeah, I'm like used to having this play style of just like trying to hedge for a bunch of things. Like I used to love hedging for like in back in the not the PS one before that, like the Vanessa meta, like after the Crook meta. I love to like on play Vanessa and like hedge for like 3 builds at the same time. Like I would just have like 3 combos in my back base. It was so fun. Like having just like Cove economy. I would just like cycle stuff and have like a bunch of things in my bag, and it was fun. But like now it's like, oh, you have to commit to one thing and then like you have to wait a bit, I guess, as you're saying for like day 5 and such. Like it's interesting.
It at least feels a little bit like that. That might be better because like you need to save up before you can go digging, kinda, and then
Like my
if you
my
go, yeah.
my theory is that you have like the build indicator for the turtle shell is just the barrel. Like I think you aren't supposed to like try to go into shell anymore if you just start with like a good weapon start. Maybe I mean like I theorize that it's trebuchet this meta because Treb is bugged right now in the same way that rifle was bugged before. Treb is 8 seconds at silver and higher, so it's actually kind of obscene. I've lost Treb like a number of times. Like I had a strong board, my opinion at least, and I would just get like smacked by trebuchet, like second zero combo actually, just like holsters trebuchet kind of fucks you up. I feel like, and it's kind of broken right now the trebuchet stuff. IMO. I don't know.
I feel like only like early trebuchet is good, but like I like there are like decent amount of combos that can raise this or win against it again. Like all the infinite combos kind of instantly outfarm it.
I feel
So
like
I think like
many,
trebuchet is more a mid game thing.
like at least Pig, for example, Pig has no like combat start enabler. Like there's no camera in Pig, so Pig's like combo, it's like they either have fort or they don't have fort. So like with no fort, they start at like 3 seconds at the earliest, right? So Vanessa can insta start with camera, but Pig can't. So Trebuchet can start at 0 as well. So I don't know. It's just fast.
Would you guys agree with the fastest start usually wins? Like that was the last patch too, kind of, right?
I mean, well, it depends. It's a bit less clear cut now because last patch it was more like, let's say, it's more trading HP, trading blows. Now it's more about tug of war, kind of. It's more like who has the higher scaling per second, kind of. You can just like rush down, in my opinion at least, you can rush down someone with like just fast start plus damage. But if it's like shield visual, it's more about scaling than fast start IMO.
Have you guys versed a lot of people that just burst you before you can even do anything?
Yeah.
Like with the shield builds also. Like when you go shield builds, it takes time to get the shield right, but you're just dead before you can even do anything.
Yeah, I mean, it's like this rock paper scissors thing. I feel like it's
Yeah.
like obviously you can have like a few people that burst you down. I feel like I have like 2 combos that burst you down like very 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 fast. I feel like I have seen a few force fields if you have like defense grid and I don't know early combat haste, start of combat haste, and then batteries and stuff. You are dead in like literally 4 seconds because they just kill you and you haven't done anything. As well as obviously the classical one weapon Vanessa builds. Like those burst you down in no time, and even though it's not like super easy to get, you can easily get like I think more easily now have access to the broken skills because like in the late game you have like very very consistent access to skill vendors. So that is changing, but I also think it's for most builds that are played at the moment, it's still slow. Obviously, you have like some burst opponents, but in general, people try to play like this infinite combos on Pygmalion and Vanessa, and they, especially if they're not fully live in all like diamond and golden, they still take quite some time to ramp up. And then if you start like a second or 2 seconds later on your red course, for example, you're still in a very good position if you have like at that point starting like haste loops and scaling going in your way.
I think
Uh,
so.
Can we pause just once again?
Okay.
There's some skills that are super OP from Vanessa, right? That like charges your weapon and stuff like that. What are those names? I want to write them up here.
So the one where they use an weapon item is Shield Bash. That's the one where they use their stuff, you charge your stuff. There's I mean the Vanessa
old
only one
one.
is Alacrity and Flurry of Blows,
yeah.
right? That's the Vanessa only ones.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Alacrity, Flurry.
Flurry of
Flurry of-
Blows.
Fury? Furry?
Flurry,
I don't know.
flurry, flurry
Is
is
it
in
Flurry,
like
okay.
flurry is like it's a word in English. It means
Okay,
something.
okay.
It makes sense in context. Trust.
So yeah, I feel like those 3 skills are super OP, right? For her and for Pagan, yeah. But yeah, she's the only one that can get those 2, right?
Yeah,
Alacrity and Flurry of
the
Blows.
on crit charge and on weapon use charge are the Vanessa only. They don't Vanessa. If you
Yeah.
find them in old Zane's shop.
Yeah, so if you find those with Vanessa and you go weapon, you just you're like you just kill people so fast they can't do anything. Doesn't matter what build they are, right? Kind of.
Yeah, but like it's like I tried this quite a bit as well, and it's
Yeah.
hard to set up. It's like if you start with your one weapon build and you don't have the skills, you don't have a strong weapon.
You know, I've
You yeah.
no go ahead. Sorry, I'm interrupting. Or
No,
I
no,
guess-
it's fine.
Bloodhound.
Like
Okay, no, okay. I've tried the cutlass stuff, the one weapon stuff. Not even necessarily cutlass, just one weapon. I think I'm not keen on it because I used to play flagship a lot, like 2 metas ago, and I was strong then. But the difference is back then, the level ups were just like plus 30 damage, plus 30 damage, plus 30 damage, and you could like stack damage on your flagship so easily. That meta now. Finding base damage on your cutlass is like impossible. It's like so hard to find like any damage buffs at all. Like it's nowhere. You have to like play fucking honing steel to buff your cutlass. It's terrible. I feel like the damage. on it. Yeah, like
I feel the same because like now like to make it good you need to get the skills and therefore you need to power level, but also you need to find like 4 pieces kind of on the board, right? I mean, preferably you need a silencer, you need your crow's nest for the lifesteal and to have enough time to raise your opponent, because you're not, especially when you're still not having all the skills, you're still not fast enough. You need the lifesteal of the crow's nest, I feel like.
yeah.
And
Also,
then
the crow's nest nerf hurts kinda. Like it's the less crit on the crow's nest, because now it's like cutlass allows that crit a lot, and I've had fights where I'm like favored on the crit chance, and I miss on the crit chance and I just die because I have no damage from about crits on the cutlass.
yeah. So I feel like it's hard to set up, and there's again the consistency issue. I mean, sure, like if you go to 1 or 2 shops and you have all your pieces and then you're good to go, it might be still good, but how often does that happen? Not that often, right?
Yeah. I mean, also it's the fact that silencer is so important. Like you have no silencer, you have no comp. So how like is the silencer your main build indicator, or how do you get even get into the single open comp? I feel like it's difficult. Because
Yeah, but
Okay.
like Crow's Nest is as important as I feel like in the early mid game and mid game.
yeah, but the difference is
Um,
crow's nest is easier to find. I feel like if I have a silencer, or if I have the other stuff, and it's just a crow's nest, it's like I feel like I can find it much easier than the other way around. So like, uh, that's different kind of.
Hey guys, for rank climbing, which is the best class right now?
do we consider conceding? That's a huge
Okay,
part of
we'll
it.
do without conceding first.
I think it's just Vanessa. I don't know. I'm voting Vanessa. Maybe it's Duli. I don't know. I'm not
So
sure.
consistent.
I think it's not
Okay.
big. I don't think. Just Vanessa or Duli.
Yeah.
Okay, so Vanessa.
Um,
Wait, I'll do one list for each. So we go Radish first. Vanessa, Radish,
I think
and then
I don't know. I'm not sure. I think I haven't played Duli that much this patch. I
Yeah.
suspect the if I test the crit core stuff, is just pretty good. I think it's actually I done like one game of Duli and I played opponents on Ignition Core and I went like I was winning the early game with just weapons and Ignition Core at the end, like no red core even. So just it felt strong even then, no red core, and I feel like that's just consistent the weapon stuff. So maybe that's just the best. Although I don't know how it fares in the late game necessarily, but I suspect either that or Vanessa with just like weapons as well.
You happy with Vanessa Dooley Pig then?
And let's say that. Yeah,
Or
that's fine.
okay, this is without conceding. All right, Snaze.
So I want to make a snocky remark. I don't think you
Yep.
climb at the moment in this meta
I
because
agree.
the general win rate will not be even remotely the same for the same skill level. Even if you have the same skill level and we're like going around, climbing is we're climbing downwards at the moment. We are sharing MMR on the top, and this means to be even if you're like top, let's say 400 or whatever.
Actually
But
went
anyway.
10-0 one game and I got 16. Like what the fuck? It's like so little now.
That's not
Yeah.
normal.
I think without conceding it is rather close between Dooley and Vanessa, but I would pick Dooley actually at the moment. First, I feel like Dooley is a little bit more consistent for climbing, or like let's say winning. And then Vanessa obviously, and Pick is I think in the worst spot this meta so far. I mean, we have not figured it completely out, and maybe there are like some easy builds and patterns that we have missed yet. We are only like 2 or 3 days in the meta, but I feel like it's that way.
Yeah, I've tried
And with
Crook, and Crook feels fine. Like if you find the Crook, it feels fine. Actually, it feels good. The issue is, in the later game, Crook lacks scaling mid combat, so you just kind of get like overwhelmed by the scaling comps. It's a very scaling heavy comp. Like last match, for example, same argument actually. Health is now like useless, by the way, because it doesn't matter. Like there's no burst. I mean, there's kind of burst, but like not really. It's like it's not scaling as well in combat. I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah, and with conceding, I think Dooley is by far the consistent one. Because if you say like Dooley, I feel like I can win like with most setups on Dooley until like day 5 to day 7ish. Like either I play even if I play Ignition Core and Dave, for example, I feel like even without an Omega Ray, that is like kind of overwhelming my general opponents, and I only lose very rarely. Or especially like obviously a lot stronger if I have like a red core setup. But I struggle like at least at the moment sometimes to get over the line. Like day 8ish to day 12ish, there's like if you have lost 1 or 2 times already, you have to go to day 12. There's like a lot of infinite combos, and if you have like a Vanessa with an infinite combo and you're sitting there on your Ignition Core or on your red core and you don't have all the perfect counter skills and scaling going in your way, you're struggling. So if I really would like to approach this in a I want to gain MMR meta, I would still probably need to concede and play just Dooley, win like the first 5 to 7 days, and then hit the concede button.
Yeah,
What? Wait, not finish the game, just concede after a few games. Yeah. 7
Yeah,
days.
like I would play the 5 to 7 days on a Dooley,
Yeah.
and then I would concede.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah, okay.
that is how you have like a consistent win rate to climb in the actual ladder that we have at the moment and gain an
What
MMR.
course?
I think it does
Really?
not really matter. Obviously, I think the red cores are at the moment in the strongest. But you can even like you can do it with every core, and if you hit like your key pieces, like your key skills very early, or you hit your Ballalister on the companion core, you can go. Like, it's a little bit high rolly with the companion core, it feels to me. Like, you can hit, but you can also miss. Like, companion core probably is hard to still win early. So I would say red cores are the consistent
Yes.
ones.
So how
But
how
I
how would you rate the like companion core day one, for example? Like compared not to like the opponent you face because they're like paid, but compared to like your own other boards from like other games, how good is companion core on day one, for example? Like, is it playable on day one, the companion core? Like, I know people that play companion core a lot, so I wanna know. Cause have you tried it?
yeah,
Oh,
I've
okay.
played quite a few companion core runs. I need to think a little bit what I had there one.
Radesh, can we go through with conceding with you also? I'll fill the list up.
I presume we
What
can
do
do
you
the
think?
same thing what Snaz described, or just Vanessa, just play weapons early game and then consider when you like get to late game. Like it's just you just see
Dooley?
like a Vanessa who's winning or a Pig who's winning or anyone who's
Vanessa?
winning a lot
Okay.
and just like, oh, they're strong, let me get out of here. Like that's just play
Yeah.
like double barrel. You play just weapons. I think it's fine. Like I
I think
suspect it's better than Dooley at some point. Maybe not it, like by day two it's weaker than Dooley perhaps, but I mean it's the same
yeah.
thing.
What do you guys think about like if you play Vanessa, if you concede day one, let's say,
Actually,
after you
reduction. I think if you are very rich, it's big, and you just play day
yeah,
one. You just get a good item on day one. You play day one through. You get to win
the
day one
bow.
to concede afterwards. It's just concede day one over and over again.
The fucking bow. Yeah, but I'm guessing that Vanessa and Pig is gonna be very, very expensive if you concede after you see the first option, right?
Okay, I think like the like I think like Vanessa and Dooley can both win in the first few days, but I feel like you have like a very huge increase on consistency for Dooley, because as long as you have like one of the three red cores, you're kind of in a good position day one, and you have also like a decent amount of chance to get your alpha ray and then get like scaling going in your favor. Whereas Vanessa, surely if you have like a good start, you're in a good position. But I feel it's harder for her to have a good start in comparison to Dooley. And since you don't want to concede like, let's say, 90% of the games, because then you are need to be rich, and you only concede like, after day 5 to day 7ish. I think like. Yeah, I don't know. I think Dooley is the consistent good early hero now, and it's also kind of funny because we're switching themes, right? Normally it was like Vanessa who should have like early weapons start, and Dooley who has like the infinite loops. And now Dooley has not as much the infinite loops. Vanessa has the infinite loops, but I feel like Dooley is just stronger on weapons.
Yeah. Do we just want to fill these fast and then we move on? I don't think the conceding part is very
I mean, I
fun for
don't.
most viewers. So
I'm going clean. Like conceding was just like a fucking. I was doing it last patch late because I was like, I mean, how do you even climb anymore? It's like.
yeah,
So I mean, I was like bored of the patch at that point, but like now I'm like, we're clean. We play it out. Although I'm now,
Radesh.
it saddens me because I love throwing PvE fights a lot. Like I'm like Crip. I love clicking fights and I can't win. I like I do like Pikachu face and I might lose them. Like, oh no, I lost to Lich. How? Oh, and like I could just bottom right. But now it's like no more. No, I'm clean now.
Okay, I have a question for Radesh. Radesh, you were streaming Pig today. You were playing Pig today, and you thought he was really good, right? Why is he third now?
Oh, I didn't think it was really good. I was okay. Yesterday, I don't think it was good. So okay, yesterday's permission to speak is good because yesterday I was playing Vanessa. That was a grass is greener moment. That yesterday. Now I'm like, oh, now I'm actually playing big, and now I'm like, well, I never mind, like because it's like when you're playing Vanessa and you're losing to random shit, it's like, oh, look at that pig beating me. I'm like, he must be stronger, and I'm like, oh, I'm playing pig, and like, never mind, like, no, it's not not the play, like because I felt like,
Okay.
oh, I presume that the matchbox was like the shell on pig and not the case because it's just like it's so much slower. It's shittier as well. It doesn't do anything. The matchbox. It's barely a combo. It's actually much flimsier. The pig loop. I feel like now that I'm actually playing it, like so much more stuff
Yeah.
to actually
Okay.
make it tight and actually pop off. Whereas Vanessa has like pearls and shit, like it can kind of like much easier the stuff on Vanessa to get the stuff going. And I think even the weapons are better on Vanessa because they're like more they're better, I think, on average. Pig has like a few good weapons, but like they're hard to set up properly. The pig stuff. They're slower as well. They're kind of like they're clunky. Vanessa has like better aggro early game, I feel like.
Yeah, can we go through builds on all the characters, and then we'll move on to like guests. So let's start with Vanessa. Like, what do you guys think are like the best, like the builds? Okay, we start from top.
If you can hit it, I think it's Turtle Shell. It's the best one. Just you know.
Okay, if you can hit it.
I mean, it's
for ranking. How about for ranking? Builds for ranking up.
yeah, it's still turtle shell. I think like you still want to play turtle shell, and if you start with a barrel, for example, a silver barrel, you have already the direction to do it. But if you do not start with it, you have to start probably more with weapons. But I agree. Like turtle shell is probably the build that is the strongest, at least for now. I mean, there might be counters in the future more around where people start to play dinosaurs and dams and stuff, right? But for now, I think it's turtle shell at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, Dam isn't even like a reliable counter. It's a gold item, right? So it shows up on like days 7, 8, 9, etc. So it's like, I mean, I think Dam is actually OP right now if you can find it. Like if you can find a good Dam stop, it's play that. But I think it's hard to find, sadly.
Yeah, it's the same with Momosaur, right? I mean, you can have like a Momosaur opponent, and then you also fall short maybe, but like it's not reliable at the moment showing up.
Yeah. Okay.
And you lose to Shield Bash. I would say weapons. I think like you just like play maybe Trebuchet, or you play a bunch of weapons.
If we should distinguish between like Trebuchet as its own thing and weapons plus Trebuchet. I think it's just weapons plus Trebuchet. Like it's the same kind of comp, more or less. Just play like
Yeah. I agree. It's just like a bunch of weapons, and if you hit like Trebuchet.
Yeah.
All right.
And then you pivot a little bit around depending on what skills you have and what your boards and what your shops give you.
Okay, so Trebuchet weapons is the second and third.
It's probably one weapon because it's hard to hit. Like it's super strong if people hit it.
Just have
The
no
issue
damage,
is,
no damage scaling. It's just hard to get the stuff you need. Like
you need one of the, like if you I don't know, crit or like you use your weapon, you get like extra damage on it, or like one of the few skills that give you extra scaling. And then later you need your Lacrosity and Flurry of Blows or something. And then you also need to have like probably a Silencer and a Crow's Nest. So it's like super hard to set up, but I think it's like if you can set it up and for some reason have it already, it's pretty strong.
yeah, if you just land on that comp, it's completely fine. It's playable. Like you just the game gives you like a silencer. Like let's say you're thinking of use a silencer, for example, a silver silencer. It's just pick up like any weapon from the shop, play like day one, then you like go into just the comp and it's fine, kind of. But it's
Kind of.
But it's like you have to hit.
It's gonna lose a few days.
I mean,
You have to hit.
I don't know if you want to. Yeah, sorry.
No, go ahead. I'm done.
I mean, the question is if you want to put like already something like Dam in it, because obviously, that's not reliable.
Yeah, right now, it's these three, right? Like, and the rest are memes or what?
I don't know. Name
Yeah.
name a Vanessa build. I don't. I can't fathom. what
Okay, so 3 builds, good. Let's go Pig.
Sure.
What do we have?
Pig has Crook. Pig has Matchbox. Actually, I discovered what Lemonade Stand does today. Fire Lemonade Stand. I thought it was a bug apparently, but no, it's not a bug. It's just how it works now. If you guys don't know, Lemonade Stand, Fire Lemonade Stand just buffs your fire items if you sell them small stuff. It just gives you plus burn. So it's like that's a thing, but I think it's inconsistent still. The Matchbox stuff. It's like it's fine-ish. The Matchbox marble stuff. I think it's worse than Vanessa's combo because it's like easier to find kind of the marbles in the Matchbox and the yo-yo, but it does less. Maybe you need like proboscis, like ironically, just like the Crypt tech. I've seen Crypt play proboscis like non-stop the past few days. It's like so funny actually. Every time proboscis actually so far. Maybe that's the solution, proboscis. Probably not though. Looks kind of bad.
Actually, that is also a very real build if you can hit it on Vanessa, or like in general.
just
the proboscis.
Yeah,
You
proboscis
can
pretty
have
strong.
like just like proboscis, and then you have like the when you use your rightmost item slow, and
Right
then if
idea.
you upgrade your righty tidy, and then if you upgrade the proboscis to diamond, it's like triggering itself, and it's like a really strong loop.
You can actually just land on heavy at 10 as well on plus slow enchant. That's kind of real.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
no,
yeah.
Who's
So
the best
proboscis,
character for Proboscis?
I think probably Vanessa, because you just have the proboscis on the board as a random weapon, and then you can just pivot into if you find enough upgrades and the right skills.
All right.
you can see it, yeah.
All right, wait. What do we have now? Crook first, and then Matchbox, and then
I don't know if Crook is one. I think it is stronger actually, the Crook, because Crook is just has a cleaner early
Okay.
game. Because Crook you just start with like Regal Blade, you start with. Is bow even in the pool?
bow, right?
I've seen 0 bows starting this patch actually on pick.
It is. It is.
It
I
is?
think, 'cause
Okay,
I
then
got
I'm
wrecked
just
by it.
then fuck me, I guess. Just no bows on me. I mean, yeah. So like, just you start with bow, start with Regal Blade, and it's like a fine starting day. It's fine on days 1, 2, and 3. It's fine. Like it goes through your Crook, and I think it's easier to find than it was in the Crook meta even. Kinda like it's my perception of finding Crook is a bit warped, because when I play Crook a lot, Crook had a skewed shop offering rate in normal shops, so it had less offering rate than normal weapons in the Islands shop, for example. Now I think it's normal. So they removed Orion, or made him harder to find, Orion, for the Crook forcing, but they added back the rate in the normal shops to find the Crook. So it's like not kind of like medium-ish to find, so you like just rely on your Regal Blade until you find the Crook. Though if you have no Regal Blade, it's a bit weird, but yeah, it's a decent comp until like day 12. As many comps are actually right now, because day 12 was like the it's hell, it's the fucking the Netherlands.
Yeah, dude.
Don't go there.
You wanna 10-0 now, man.
Yeah, like it's dangerous. Don't go out at night, you know, like go home before curfew. That's just don't stay
Okay,
out late.
let's fill this up. So any more builds? Crook, Matchbox, and
What else is there?
okay. We can move on if we don't have more, and then
Yeah.
chat will help us.
I don't know.
I don't have played enough Pygmalion, so I don't
Okay,
know.
let's go Dooley.
I guess maybe like big like max HP scaling is a thing. Maybe I don't ever play the like HP scaling. Someone said llama in the chat. Llama is not a real item. Don't play llama. That's not the real thing.
Okay, let's move on to Dooley.
Let's go do it then.
What do you guys think?
I think the Alpha Ray weapons, Red Cores, Combat Core, like Red Cores or Combat Core, I don't think you want to have both, but like I would say like Alpha Ray weapons, Red Cores is probably the most consistent one.
Yeah, let's put them in a row. So which red core do you like? Or let's go all core. So crit first.
Crit probably. Crit and weapons.
Crit and then crit core.
Probably weaponized core maybe.
Nice. And then the core.
Yeah, like all with Alpha Ray and then just a bunch of weapons like Tesla Coil Pulse Rifle.
Yeah, okay. Let me do Snazzer here.
The core is better than the weaponized core. Yeah, maybe. I know. It's.
And then fourth.
That depends. Like consistency wise, the issue with like ignition core here is like I feel like you're falling short after day 5 to 7-ish. So probably it's more companion core, but then you either switch into combat core or you find your better lister. So that is how I played it lately. So it's like
so it's hard 4 or 5. We can just
it's like all a little bit inconsistency, but like I think like companion core is in a very good spot if you hit your Billa lister.
Okay, let's go companion, and then we go ignition, and then armored
the
is
last
like
one
really
is the
shit
armored
core,
one.
right?
Yeah, like
armored is like super shit, right?
yeah, like in general it is.
I mean, RIP tape, RIP duct tape.
Yeah. Do you think that the other ones are kind of close, or how do you feel? Maybe we should do S, A, B, and stuff like that instead.
I think like crit core is S tier. V core and weaponized core is probably A tier.
Yeah.
And then companion and ignition, it's a little bit. Both have their issues, so it's like I don't know, B- tier maybe for now. until I maybe find a way to reliably hit good stuff.
On both, yeah.
Yeah, because like I don't know, obviously if you like you have to pivot a little bit around whether you hit different pieces, and it's not straightforward at least, and therefore you're struggling sometimes more. And Armored Core, I don't know what's the worst one. I don't think Armored Core is real here. You like weapons got buffed and shield did not get the same buff. So the advantage of the Armored Core was that you could like kind of shield scale a little bit harder, and the scaling from the Armored Core now is not worth it anymore.
Yeah,
So I
don't
feel like
think
Armored Core's out.
I don't think that's doing much. Honestly, if I'm playing a force field, I'd have like a crit core force field or something like that. Just rely on skills or something for the armor scaling even. I don't know. It's like
Yeah. Vladish, have you played Dooley or?
I've
you
played
got
one
any
game
input
of
here?
Dooley, and I'm tired of Dooley. I've done enough. We'll go back to Dooley
Alright.
like later. Like just friendship is not over with Dooley, but it's postponed. Okay, can you postpone a friendship? I'm doing that. I'm like
Yeah.
we are married. We are married, but we're like in different rooms of the apartment. You know, that's the situation here. Me and Dooley.
All right, nice. All right, do you guys have any like closing thoughts about this patch and stuff? We can go one of each, and then we can bring some chatters in, and see what they say.
I am a little bit frustrated because like my game is extra slow.
Yeah.
And that is like
Dude.
really taking the enjoyment out. And I mean not like just to make a very clear differentiation. Like, and you can watch actually streams. Like if I watch Crip's stream, his game looks kind of smooth still. And if you look, for example, like I can see like Katya's stream, you can also see like a huge difference how slow animations are. And this is the reason like why my are so slow, because my CPUs are capped. They have like 100% load on the cores where the game is on, and that is I don't know. I know I could still play, but it's annoying me quite a bit. I don't know. I can endure the 2 seconds in between always.
For me, the issue has been that the game randomly like just like freezes up, like it doesn't work anymore. It's just I have to restart the game and like just exit out because it just becomes a fucking PNG like randomly, and not even lag. It just stops working. So I have to like restart, and also it's just clunky. It feels clunky to play. Like it feels less smooth than last patch somehow. Like I mean the combats feel better, but the shop phase feels terrible now. Like it's reversed actually. Like now the combat is fine, but the shop is terrible. Before it was the combat was terrible, now the shop is fine. It's I don't know, man. It's frustrating.
I mean, it's like only some animations and some are good. Like for example, if you press on the replay, that is smooth as hell. That is pretty nice.
Oh yeah, the replay
that
feature, by the
is-
way, chef's kiss on the replay feature. Actually insane.
Yeah. Chef's kiss. Like that feature absolutely hit a nice sweet spot. By the way, I don't want to hate about like the patch in general. It's like that for example is good, and they smoothed out a little bit and stuff. So in general, it's good. It's just a little bit annoying for me at the moment to play, and this is the reason why I do not stream at the moment, because my fans of the CPU would go crazy if I also put like streaming on. Anyway, other than that, I don't like the matter. It's like too much rock paper scissors. I liked when I could calculate stuff a little bit more, and everything was like more determined, that I had more like it felt to me I had more agency about games, and then I could like get the edge if I play correctly, and I don't feel that is the same way. But it's also on the other side at the moment a healthy matter, because it's not only Dooley and 2 builds. So I have to give it to them. It's probably still a good change for most people.
On one hand, I enjoy winning a lot because that's why I'm high rank to begin with. But on the other hand, it's like in the Vanessa meta before, I was losing at the beginning of the meta. Then I started playing flagship and I was winning. So I am excited for the possibility that I can find like a good build. I know how to play very well and just start climbing again. Like it's a rough meta to climb in, but I can climb despite that if I find like the real angle in a certain class. So I think that's exciting to me. The chance of that. So in that sense, I'm enjoying the meta a lot. I'm enjoying playing Vanessa as well. Like just not Dooley because I'm gonna be real. I don't like the cores on day one. Like it's so I feel like so vulnerable. I feel like I'm just dying to weapons with the core in play. Like it's your fate. I feel like so I enjoy playing not Dooley a lot. In that sense.
All right,
That's
guys.
make me happy.
Thanks for joining. If you guys want to stay, you can stay, obviously. And then we'll bring in guests, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah. I thought like we were staying here, and now we get
Yeah.
challenged on our views, and someone is telling us with this
Yeah.
this combo we missed completely out, and then we can think about it together.
All right, stay.
It's
Okay, let's
puffer
bring out.
fish.
I see two guys in the I see two guys in the waiting room. I think Kuistra, are you here? I see you in chat. Are you ready? I'll bring you in. Yeah, he's muted. I'll give him a few seconds. Okay, he's here. You're in our Discord right now. Yo,
Hey,
hello.
hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, can hear you. It's good.
Yeah, let me mute Raresh stream.
All right.
Okay, so for introducing me, I was like top 5 in last meta, and I gave away a lot of MMR like the last 2 days.
Same,
I
brother.
played a ton of Pig and Vanessa, probably like 20 or 30 games each, and I haven't played a single duty game.
All right. Do you have anything to share about them, or do you want to talk about like the patch as a whole first, or do you just want to go into like Vanessa and Pig? What do you think is good?
Um, I'm gonna talk about the patch first because I'm much more enthusiastic about it, I think, than some of you. I feel like I said it in the chat, but we're way too biased because of last patch where we used to get like 10 ones or 10 zeros much more consistently. I think the patch goes in the direction that Tempo and Reynad want it to go, where some builds do counter over. Like that's not supposed to be one build that is extremely dominant, like Ignition Core or Lizard last patch. Like Renat said, they wanted to do something like this where it's an auto-regulating meta that way. Also, I feel like the fact that we cannot get a full comp by day 2 is actually pretty good because it forces us to find smart ways to not lose too much early in order to find our final comp. So obviously the problem is now that we are losing a lot, but that's much more because there is a system of MMR which was based on the last patch, and now this patch, if we had MMR reset, I feel like we would just get to, let's say, 2k instead of 3 or even 4k right now, and then we would enjoy having 10-2 or 10-3s, which would be MMR positive.
Yeah, all right. So you think how do we say it then? How do we write it like in a concise way? This patch is more
Diversity encounters.
Yeah, I would say it's more diverse, and also I think there's much more switching.
Think it's more
to do,
RNG.
I mean, there might be more RNG, but I feel like it's a good type of RNG. Like you have to know when to switch because you cannot get your full comp by day 2 right now. Most of the OP items that we talked about, like a Crook, you have to force Crook on Pig, but you cannot force Crook from day 1, just like you could force Omega Ray. So the first 3 to 4 days, it's random because you don't exactly know how to win until you find Crook. But for each game, you will have to find a unique combination of items. Sometimes it could be like, let's say, based on your shield piggles. If you get a shield item, then you get lots of shield, or you just get a big regal blade at the beginning. Like the first 3 to 4 days, I feel like they are much more diverse than before. But then obviously the end of game comps are still the same. And what will differentiate the best players will be how much they can hedge until they find their final comp.
I concur. It's a very
Yeah,
nice.
I think the take is pretty good. I do still think, and there's where I'm not like completely sure, how high like so I will just let it stay. Like the comparison is a little bit to Battlegrounds, where but what I played like last before like this game, where I feel like you had like still easy ways to rather consistently get like being like one of the top like 3 players in the lobby, and I do not know if like you have the same success rate at the moment. Like I don't know if you still like can like very consistently still like
Well, yeah, I mean,
achieve
the root of
winning.
all evil is, at the end of the day, the MMR system for us. Because if you want to climb,
Yeah.
there is no such thing as taking a calculated loss, for example. Like, you have to try to win every round, no matter what, regardless. Even if you know you're weak, you can't, like, just throw the round. You have to try to win anyways, because any day lost is an issue. For example, I watch, like, Battlegrounds players, and when they play their game, they like, oh, I'm gonna lose this round. Let's throw this round to get an advantage. Like, let's level up on this round to get to next level, and then just we'll build up from there. Like, we throw the round, it's fine, and it's different this game. Like, it's
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, you're correct. Probably you're
Yeah.
correct.
Yeah, but also
Kustre?
I think. Oh, sorry. I
Yeah,
think when the
wait.
system changes, because I think they said several times that they want us to just aim for 10 wins in the end, even though we don't really know how they will do it. Because right now, if it was just 10 wins, I think everyone could do it without matchmaking at the higher ranks. But if they find a way to do it, I feel like dispatch would be much more fun if you can throw away early days for like a big bonk pig or something like this, which you cannot do right now if you
That's
want to
true.
climb
That's
it.
true. There's 2 chatters in chat. Do you have chat open?
Yeah.
I do.
For Kustre, I'm asking Kustre. There's 2 guys that wrote
Yeah.
that kind of summarized your thing. Which do you think fits you the most? So Argent says this patch is great for people who is aiming for 7 to 10 wins. This patch is poor for people who want to keep their rank high or high ranking. He said
I
that.
mean, I
Do
would
you
say
agree?
dispatch is poor for. I would agree, but just because I mean, if there was a MMR reset right now, um, then dispatch would probably feel great for the top MMR players like 1 week from now. It's just that it's obviously a bad patch to climb just because it's worse than the last one. It's not there is no bad patch to climb ever, but if you can sit at your MMR from last patch, then obviously it's a bad patch to climb.
Yeah. So this is kind of the first time we have this type of patch then, right? Like it's not really
Yeah.
similar to the port patch.
I mean,
What is the difference?
to me, it felt like kind of the same when I went from Crook patch to Vanessa patch, because I was winning every game in Crook patch. It was so easy to farm because Crook was so consistent. You could play Crook every game in that patch, and I was doing it every day. Like, it just go to Orion, get the Crook, win the game. Like, that was easy game. So I was climbing so much in that patch, and then the Vanessa patch came, and I was losing. I was up like 100 points or something in a very quick time, and then I had to like rebuild myself up from there. Like, it's and they were saying the same thing back then. People that oh, it's no longer a climbing patch. It's a decay patch kind of. That was the sentiment then as well during the flagship kind of meta. So
Do you
like,
guys think it is the same as the port patch then, or what is the difference if there is a difference?
I think it's the same, but kind of like more exacerbated. Like, it's higher volume now because the MR inflation was even higher in that than the previous patch. Like, this patch preceding this one gave us more MR than the patch preceding the port patch. Let's say, so it's like more. It feels worse, but it's the same kind of. I feel like I'm at least. Anyone else have any?
Yeah, I didn't play enough like during the early Crook OP meta. I think it should be even worse now because like there is a much bigger difference between last meta and this one than between the Crook and let's say I don't even know, was Crook much easier to get 10 ones than the last meta with Ignition Core? I feel like it was about the same, for example. But maybe before last patch, since I didn't play enough, like the very transition from Crook to no Crook, maybe it felt the same.
Yeah, right. Kustra, can we end with a few builds, or what do you think is the best on Vanessa and
Yeah.
Pig? You played those, right?
Yeah, I agree on like for me, the only playable pig build right now, if you want to climb, it's not Bushel, it's not Matchbox. They're so baity because the difference with like Turtle Shell is that they're only good once you're already late game and infinite. You lose so much early and mid game if you play this. So I feel like the only real pig build is Crook weapons, which you have to try to force, just like you try to force Omega Ray. Like Crook Atlal is the only build that can make you win MMR, I think.
All right. What are the starting items you're looking for when you do that, when you force that?
I think it's not even. I mean, Regal Blade is great, but the best one is probably Jabalion Longbow at silver. You instantly win and you can level without without going to small item shop or weapon shop to boost your Regal Blade day one. Even though you have to go to weapon shop to find your Crook, but I mean day one with Regal Blade, you sometimes have to make some choices between leveling up or just buffing it.
Longbow, XP, Fin, kill them in 2 shots.
Yeah, basically, if you have longbow, you can not worry about anything and just take the XP nodes, and then you find your Crook. And once you have your Crook and Atlal, anyway, you don't need a big Regal Blade.
Okay, how many concedes do you need to get the bow every time?
Uh, I think there's like 50 bronze items or something like this, right? So it's
Yeah.
like less than 10% with 4, so like 10 concedes for one game.
All right. Expensive. That's expensive.
Yeah,
All right,
but
Vanessa?
on Vanessa, Turtle Shell and Barrel are starting item, I would say.
Yeah, that's the best. Okay.
Wait, can Shell be a starting item? It can it?
No. I mean,
No.
Turtle Shell is the good build and the best starting item for
okay.
it. So like Turtle Shell is the equivalent of Crook, and the equivalent of Jabalion Longbow is Barrel.
I agree. Barrel is like I think Barrel is the most clear-cut turtle shell build indicator, honestly, because it serves the same purpose for a long time, basically, in the build.
Yeah. I have one question with the turtle shell. So obviously, turtle shell is the defensive part. What do you guys think is the best offensive part? Is it puffer, or how can you do other stuff?
For me, it's Puffer early, but actually, like Puffer seems way too slow, even at Diamond, to kill anyone late game.
Puffer is
So I
kind of
don't know
shit.
how to.
I've
Yeah,
actually
Puffer is.
I've gotten farmed by late game only by shipwreck pufferfish, actually, like actual just puffer comp but to shipwreck. I think
Yeah.
shipwreck makes that kind of real because it cycles more, but I think puffer is a terrible like proactive in condition. Puffer is more like for the mirror, like it's more like a mirror tech, like it's for to beat other shield comps basically. And honestly, the same purpose, we just checked today, like me and Sweaty were looking. You can enchant a seaweed with poisonous, and it's the same thing, kind of, because it scales the poison on the seaweed when you go use their items. It's kind of cool, actually.
What else? If you don't go puffer, what do you do? So we enchant, and what else? Is there an item?
I mean,
just fatigue
yeah,
comb, no?
so I think like there are like a few options, like as far as like of course fatigue and stuff, but like first of all, I think you are really reasonable to get an enchant, and then you can like decide to put like a burn or poison enchant on any of your items, and then you have like your anti-fatigue, a little bit of damage combo in. I also think you could obviously find rarely Matchbox, that would be good. Or you can even use the incendiary rounds if you want to, because actually if you put like two next to 2 items that are going kind of infinite loopy, your incendiary rounds, that is quite a little bit of burn damage. Surely it's it's not killing your opponent if he has also an infinite combo, but it's more like having at least something that also deals a little bit of damage. And I feel like those are the techs you can run.
I've actually
Also, I
tried.
just want to add. Sorry. I just want to add. We have Belelista at home with Shark Ray. If we have Astrolabe, and actually, there's also the skill. I had 2 games with like Shark Ray as the Belelista with Turtle Shell, Astrolabe, and even the skill. I don't know the name, but like when you use aquatic, haste a weapon.
Oh shit! No, it's
Oh shit.
crashing waves. Crashing waves. I
Yeah,
think it's called.
it's a skill that that's very good on this, and Shark Ray at Diamond is kind of good for damage. Actually, it's much better than Puffer.
Yeah, I
Fair.
agree. Shock Ray does.
That's pretty good. I have not run
Alright.
it, but like that sounds good. Yeah.
What I've run once is actually I tried Lighthouse because I like to run dock lines like early mid game. It's just good utility the slow the dock lines. And you can like play Lighthouse kind of sometimes, not great, but like I like the tripwire dock lines Lighthouse package kind of. It's something. It does something sometimes. The burn rate is kind of playable, probably not, but maybe. I'm kind of on a fence on this tripwire item. It has good text on it, but I found tripwire actually. Is tripwire real?
I've never
I don't
tried
really like
those slow
Tripwire.
stuffs.
I think the issue with Tripwire was that it's not aquatic, while doglines are aquatic, and you're running like aquatic loops more than non-aquatic loops.
Yeah, but
So
the tripwire procs the turtle shell. If you have the turtle shell, it's still like fine. It procs the astrolabe. It procs bunch of stuff anyways. I think it's fine.
Alright.
The big problem with Tripwire is that like you slow them once they already deal damage. So let's say if you wanna slow
Okay, just to
a big
clarify,
bonk,
the point of the tripwire isn't the slow. The point of it is the procs on your
I know,
comp.
yeah, but you're supposed to go like full procs on it with like if you play already Puffer, like Puffer plus Tripwire is much more overkill. I feel like if you wanna just go infinite on the turtle shell, but if you don't have Puffer, then maybe.
Alright. Kuster, do you have anything else, or wanna bring another guy in?
Yeah, just I wanted to say that Iceberg is actually very good if you can find it like late game and you have enough skills to go infinite on your own, because you break basically all the infinite combos from Dooley, from Vanessa, and from Matchbox Pig. I had like once Iceberg game when I just won against 3 builds, which would have been much better, and then with my 7 slots, I just had like Pearl, Puffer, and Turtle Shell, and it was enough to kill them with the poison. They couldn't do anything with the icebergs freezing every time.
Okay. We'll bring the next guy in. Guys, the next guy.
Don't call him a
let's
guy.
try to keep it
He's an esteemed
guy
guest.
or girl.
Esteemed guest.
yeah.
We call them.
The next guest. Let's try to keep it like shorter so we can like go with the next. So we'll do like fast, just overview of the patch, and then we'll go into builds, what you think is the best, and then we'll bring the next guest in. All right. I'll just pick one. All right. Next, we got Krista. Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay, are you here?
Yeah,
we'll
thank
give
you.
it.
Hi.
Okay, yeah. A new guy. There.
Do you hear me okay?
Yep. Really nice. Wait, what do
Okay.
we call you? Is it Whelp?
You can just call me. I'm the same guy as Walter Cooler or Walter Coolest on Twitch.
Should I write Walter Coolest then?
Yeah, that's fine. Whatever.
Coolest. All right.
Yes, I've been playing mostly Burn Core. I played about 20 games and then about 10 weaponized and critical.
All right.
And I think Micro Dave burn stuff is pretty real. I mean, it definitely has a fall off issue for day, like I would say, like not even day 5 through 7. I would say more like days 8 through 8 plus is more when it gets scary, where you might want to consider conceding if you haven't, I don't know, if you haven't developed into something pretty nasty.
If you don't find the Dave by like day 4, do you cry?
Um, no, I actually, so you definitely need Dave or the Ray, but you don't need both. The Ray is actually not required at all. I have plenty of runs where I never found Ray and still got to like, you know, 10-2 or 10-1, 9-0 concede, stuff like that.
Yeah. How
Where I
consistent
never
is it
found
to
Ray.
find Dave, you think? Like early?
It's fairly consistent if you're clicking on the correct shops. I mean, you don't really need it till I would say day 4 is when you start to feel like you're actually missing damage. I mean, one of the things I really like about Burn Core is it's just you can also do like the zombie XP strat. Like you just click XP, click
Yeah.
XP, click whatever shop you get, and then you just buy 4 smalls, and then you just win day 1 off like almost anything. And I mean, obviously, like you can lose or whatever.
Yeah,
You
I
can
guess
go up
Ignition
against
Core
Jabalion Longbow, but
Ignition Core benefits a lot from the 2-on-1 meta because board space is premium on Ignition because it's burn stacking, right? It's
yeah, yes. You just race everything days 1, day 2. Like I never lose to Vanessa days 1, 2,
I
3,
mean, yeah,
and I
honestly, if I'm
only
playing
ever lose to Jabalion Longbow.
if I'm playing Vanessa, I'm playing Battle on day 2 and I queue into a dually, I'm like, oh, if he's burn, I'm dead because I can't like there's no we're playing
Yes,
like
and you
AFK
can
comps and burn just deletes that in the early game.
yeah, and you can set up your own for the later game days against Vanessa Barrel. You can set up your own charge loops with Dave, Cool Eds, and the core that will outstack the shield. So you if they have a full infinite board, you can have burn boards that beat it, even that are going like not all the way to Sandstorm, but are going 15, 16, 17 seconds into the fight.
From your experience, how common is it to get the burn to regen skill? I think that actually helps in the turtle mirror,
Oh,
right?
that one's excellent. Yeah. I mean, it's pretty easy to get if you click the diamond tier skills
Adira?
upgrade or whatever. Yeah.
Okay.
I would go for I mean over the self burn synergies are definitely real, right? So I rate thrusters really high. Um, so like you want to like shop a lot, and then there's like a lot of redundant pieces that lets you find upgrades. So it's easy to get like a diamond thrusters or a diamond Aiden or a diamond Ray or like basically you're highly likely to have if you click the right shops, you're highly likely to have like some pieces that are very high whatever rank pieces.
Well,
Okay.
this about likelihood. I don't really necessarily buy it because I think it's been long enough to know by intuition what the real odds are here. Maybe you've been lucky. I don't know.
Well, do you mean but I'm not saying to get any particular item to diamond or I'm just saying your board is gonna be the core, Dave, and 6 smalls, right? You're very likely to get 2 to 3 of those smalls to diamond if you want them if you're clicking your shops.
Could you elaborate for me why you like thrusters so much? I'm still not understanding why they are so good now.
So you because you don't necessarily get Ray that consistently, you park thrusters and Dave to the right of the core, and then if you've used your so when you get your bronze upgrade, if you don't have Dave yet, you use it on the core, and then you put Dave to the right of the core. And if you do have Dave, then you use your upgrades on Dave, and then you keep Dave to the left of the core, hopefully with the Ray in between. So you either have your Ray as the scaling or the core as the scaling, and that determines which side Dave is on. And then you try to get your Dave really high rank via the shops, right? So once you have your Dave to silver, you want to click non-weapon, click medium. Obviously, Quicksoul is great. Like, so you can get your Dave high, because your Dave is actually, if you have it on your left side, is an insane engine for proccing the core itself, and then that's how you create charge loops with cool LEDs, Dave, and the core.
Do you put
can-
Dave on the left as soon as you have a ray, or how what do you do?
It depends on the rank of the, so the higher rank
Yeah,
the
of
core
course.
is, the higher rank the core is, the more you want Dave on the right of the core. And then
Okay,
the higher
so
rank the
if-
ray is, you just kind of have to look at what you have and figure it out.
I
And
mean,
also Bomb Buddy is really good for, like, you park Bomb Buddy next to, if you don't have thrusters, you can park, or not Bomb Buddy, Bomb Squad, whatever. Bomb Squad next to Dave on the right side of the core, and you can machine gun like that,
Okay.
where you create another charge loop like that.
regarding this thrusters premise philosophy, let me like play devil's advocate here. I am like pro thrusters philosophically at the very least. Like in theory, right? What's the distinction between last patch thrusters, current patch thrusters? It's about like two things, I guess. It's about like opportunity cost, and it's about like the CDR on the core as well, because right now I believe it's hard to get CDR on the core. Like it's hard to reduce the core to like 5, for example.
Yes.
The testers help that a lot. Also, last patch, tape was an item. Now it's not an item. So that slot between the core and the item to the left of the core, let's say, it's free now. Because, or it's freer. You can put like steel metronome in there, or like the Ray or Dave and such. But like, there's more conditions potentially where you would put an item on there in next to the core on the left side, potentially, because tape is no longer in the game. RIP duct tape. Could see that in theory.
Yeah, so I'm a big fan of thrusters and even nitro. Like, I value the overclock skill extremely highly. And then you can look for self burn. I think cooling fan is pretty okay early game, just because it goes so fast. Just because it's a 2.5 second item.
Well, it is, but it's not, because like, on the
what's the name
first
again?
cast, cooling fan.
Cooling fan.
Cooling
yeah.
fan. Okay.
They changed
Yeah,
cooling fan's condition activation to be a both player burn, so it can be either you or the
No,
opponent has burn.
it's when either player.
I know
has
it's
burn.
either you or
Yeah,
the
yeah,
opponent has it, so
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
better now. Though it's still bad in the sense that on the first cast it's still terrible, because it's still slow on the first cast. That matters a lot, I think. Well, it's less now, but
Yeah. I mean, obviously, like, you can kind of like timeline it out yourself when your core procs to hit the first burn. Very often I have lighter. Obviously, I'm clicking pyro 100% of the time.
Right. Do you mean that, like, even though it goes down to 2.5, you still have to wait 5 seconds the first time?
Yeah, but you don't have to wait 5 seconds the first time. You just have to wait till your first burn item goes off. And then it will be less than 5 seconds, because it will still get half the cooldown for the duration.
Oh,
of
yeah.
the
I was
raid.
asking Radesh because she said, like,
Oh,
first
okay.
time is always 5.
I mean, not that I don't know that it's 5, but it's still longer the first time around. Like it's
Yes,
still,
it's probably like 4. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
so it's
Yeah.
still like for example, we can say like, oh, it's 2.5 effective cooldown once the combat starts, but it's not 2.5 in the same sense that Uzi is a 2-second cooldown, because Uzi's purpose, the point of the Uzi is that it starts the combat fast. It goes off early in the fight, and it starts doing things for your comp early on. It procs like meta. It procs the core. It procs a bunch of stuff. So it's different in that sense. But yeah, it's like just an engine as a battery. It's probably fine. The cooling fan. I mean, the effect of cooling fan isn't bad either. Like the crit chance on the core is not nothing. It's something. It does stuff. It's damage.
Okay.
Another thing I like.
Yep.
Sorry, go.
I just wanted to give time for Snazit. I think he wanted to say something before.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I want to follow up on the thrusters. So do you put thrusters to the left of the core and don't have them scale? Because then I can actually see them at the
No,
moment being good.
I have them. If I have Dave, no bomb squad, and no Ray, I would put the thrusters on the right side of the core and have a scaling self. I mean, the fights are not long enough that matters.
Okay.
If you're playing, in my mind, if you're playing this build correctly, and it's days 4 through 8 or whatever, where I might have this set up, my fights are 12 seconds or I lost.
Okay,
So,
now
self burn doesn't do anything.
this right side thrusters premise, I'm buying less. If I would play thrusters, I'd put them on the left side all the time, not the right side.
Well, because
yeah,
you have them in between Dave and the core, so you can create the Dave charging loops, or
Guess they
you
can
can
do
get
The
closer to
thrusters,
creating
the thrusters is 6 seconds, guy. It doesn't go off that much actually. So
Yeah, so like I mean, it still charges Dave, but like having Dave be a lower cooldown is also huge. For example, I'm using my insect wings on Dave, not on the core generally.
ooh, okay, let me see.
Spicy.
Let me write that up.
So
Have you gotten it to
Dave is
one
your
charge?
damage dealer, not the core. The core exists to scale Dave when you have Dave
Yeah.
on the right.
Wait, guys, calculate how much reduction you need on Dave Diamond to get it to one charge while hasted, I guess.
1/3. Wait, what? I don't know. I don't know. Like, I guess.
Well, hasted, it would be you just need 1 second off of it. You would need a 5-second Dave if he's hasted, right? It would go every 1 second.
Well, that
And
seems
then-
hard
yeah,
to
but
do currently.
No, 1 second is not one charge. One charge is 0.2 seconds, right? So yeah.
But I mean, like, I guess.
So I want it to go
yeah,
off
but
at
it
one
would
charge,
go,
not
yeah,
two
but it
charges.
would get like with the whole rest of your board, it's just gonna go. Like I think that's gonna go close to, okay, 4.4 is yeah. I don't think you actually get to 4.4, but I think you can get
Yeah.
to like I think you can definitely get to like low 5, high 4, and you're really trucking with with your other items. Like also Cool Leads is just its own little
Yeah.
looper with the core. It's
So
pretty easy.
yeah, if microdave doesn't go off in one charge, then everything else that you do with it before then is useless because it will go off on 2 charges anyway. So yeah, if you don't get it down to 4.4.
Well, that's only if it's diamond though. Like I feel like I'm ending the game before that's only
Yeah.
diamond.
So
yeah.
else you should probably stop upgrading it when it's gold because it will always go off on 2 charges anyway, right?
Yeah, you're saying I should stop putting the insect wings on it when it's gold.
Okay, anyways, let's
Yeah,
keep going.
or diamond.
Next guest.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. All right. Do you have
thank you
anything
so
else?
much.
You good?
No, that's it.
All right. Thank you, man.
Thank you.
Okay, next guy.
Am I an
let's,
asshole? Maybe I am. I don't know.
No,
Next
it's
is
good. It's good.
next
You're a
is
good
team
host.
guest. We need more team guests.
Thank you, Welp. Thank you, Walter Cooler. Let's go, Levan. You here?
Hi, hello. Can you hear me well?
Yeah. Welcome.
The energy.
Do I call you Levan or what do I call you?
Yeah, that's fine. You can use this one. In game, you can.
Your in-game name is.
Levan is fine.
I'll do
In
Levan.
the game, I use name Avadis, but you can use either.
Yeah, right. Okay, what do you have for us, man?
So first of all, I want to say that I'm probably in a different kind of player than you guys, because you guys are obviously focusing on getting the highest MMR, and I really like watching you because I can learn from you a lot. But I'm a different kind of player, and maybe a player that the chat can more easily relate to, because I'm a player who wants to accumulate as much resources for the release and further. So when the game releases, so I'll be able to buy every hero and every pack without spending any money. So it means that in my case, the most important thing is getting as much tickets and getting as much 10 wins, but I don't really care if it's like 10-0 or is it 10-5, because for me it's still a win because I still get resources.
So you are playing in the future right now. You are in the future of us. You are time traveler because presumably there's gonna be us in the future as well. Hopefully they change the system in a meaningful way.
Yeah, I just feel that I will do some things a bit differently than you, because like for you, getting 10 wins, like 10-0, 10-1, 10-2 is very important. In my case, I would say it doesn't really matter. If I can get my 10 wins, I'm a happy man.
Well, yes, but if we go back to like, okay, recently we've been talking about winning early days or any day in the framework of MMR, but my theory, my sort of like premise since the early days was that winning the early game was not only important for the MMR game but also for winning the game a 10 wins at all because the late game is dangerous. So
I would say, I would say in general the meta changed drastically. I feel like in the previous meta, it was very important to aggro the opponent as fast as possible, and I feel like this meta is all about creating like a chain or an engine or however you want to call it that will just proc very fast and it will do like everything at once.
okay, yeah.
So you want to deal damage and you want to get some kind of sustain like
Okay,
heal or shield,
for context,
probably shield.
what do you play primarily right now? What class do you play?
So before the patch, I was mainly playing Dully.
Like everyone, okay. So you're playing the class last patch, okay? Okay. Now
This patch I switched to. It will be a surprise to Pygmalion.
Oh.
And
Big bro in the chat. Welcome.
so I think for Pygmalion, there are a few things that make him easy to do what I want to do. I will explain what I mean. Like in the last patch, I was mostly playing Dully because all his key items was bronze, and I could force them very easily. Right? Like you had your Omega Ray or your Gamma Ray, and you wanted to get it fast, and then you wanted to scale your Lizard, or you wanted to scale your Ignition Core with the monster drops. And you can't really do that anymore because they removed to silver.
Yes.
And in case of Pygmalion, you have a lot of engine pieces that you can build very early on, and then you can get your win condition one way or another. So the engine pieces are obviously the matchbox. Matchboxes can let you trigger everything really fast. One item that I think wasn't mentioned a lot was marbles.
And marbles is really good now.
Yeah, marbles can also allow you to move into like more proboscis direction. But I personally just prefer to move into a direction that will allow me to do both. Like I want to scale my damage and I want to scale my shield.
So okay, so you're mostly playing, from what I understand, you're not like a crook guy. You're a matchbox guy. You're a matchbox marble person. Is that?
Yes.
Okay, so
that's correct.
rate? So how do you find on that build proactive win conditions? So it's you said proboscis, you said matchbox. What else? So how do you kill them?
I would say that yo-yo is a really strong win condition.
Yo-yo plus what? Because the base damage is 1. How do you scale the yo-yo?
Yeah, with yo-yo, the yo-yo is very good because you can scale it off with the item I name forgot, but it's the one that charges when you heal and
When you
overheal. It's weights.
So you weights yo-yo is the premise here.
Yes, weights yo-yo I find to be really strong. And the problem here is that if you want to overheal, you need some shielding, so you make sure that you're overhealing.
Yeah, so just before this conversation started, I was playing that exact build. I was playing weights, I was playing yo-yo, I was playing matchbox, I was playing marbles, and I lost like 4 games in a row because opponent started fast and DPS me down. And I couldn't cycle the weights that much. Also, it's different now because back in the good old days, the crook days, that was a comp as well, Vineyard weights, yo-yo, and it felt much better than because the Vineyard ticked like very, very often, very fast. Now it's like super slow, kind of like it's...
I'm gonna help Levan out here. Levan, just say skill issue, man.
No, I understand why you are struggling, because I think Pygmalion is not the kind of character you want to play to claim ranks, simply speaking. Like when I'm playing Pygmalion, I know I need to like get to a certain setup.
So you're saying
And
because
I might need to sacrifice like 3 or 4 PvP fights to get there.
I see your approach is predicated on this. You can because you can afford to throw rounds. This is like a more viable strategy for you because you actually have can leverage those losses for to get your comp online or such. Yes, is what you're
Yes.
saying? Okay, I see.
Yes, pretty much. So one thing that's very important is that you can actually get an enchant on level 10 instead of level 16, like before patch. And it means that you can try to include it into your build. It is one of the outs that can be pretty consistent. Like you can get shield like 50% of the time, for example.
Yeah. Yo, Levan, I wrote some notes out here. So yeah, you don't play for MMR. You just want to get the gems and the ticket, like the chest and stuff, right? So you can play in a totally different way. Yeah.
Yeah, correct. Like I am legend right now,
Yep.
but I haven't focused on getting there. I just happened to get there while I was farming chests and gems.
So you like pig and you like those two builds. Is there anything else? Any other build you like or?
I would add to this one that bushel is a very important item.
Okay,
And
explain.
it ties out to.
I'm excited. Explain to me the premise. You are my messiah. Please tell me how to play bushel. I want to know.
Yeah. So with the bushel, the biggest problem is obviously that you need to proc your shields somehow, right?
So what's the indicator there? How do you get what's your S tier? What's the shield items that are playable with the bushel? How do you find them?
So yeah, there are two most easy accessible ways to make bushel online. One way is take advantage of the fact that at level 10 you get the enchant. So you have like around 50% of the chance that you can just make your bushel.
Okay, so shielded bushel.
That's shield for you. Yeah.
So we just but do you play the bushel on board? Do you like hoard the bushel and then put in play if you find the enchant, or do you just play the bushel with other stuff?
It really depends on what else I happen to get before that. If I have a lot of like small items, because one thing is that Pygmalion has a lot of shield items on short cooldowns. Yeah, and you can just throw them in, and hopefully it will be enough.
So I know there's ATM and there's jewelry, for example. There's also bandages. But I think those are not quite badly with the bushel, because bushel you have it at silver usually, or even at gold, and then it goes to 3. Sorry?
No, sorry, I didn't say anything.
I think Walter said something. Anyways, so I was gonna say like the cooldowns are not badly because the bushel goes to 3, then the jewelry goes to 3 as well, and then it clips the charge on the bushel in the early game. It's okay. Actually, I'm curious. For example, let's say it's day 1. You see like your starting items. Do you ever pick bushel as your starting item ever in any context? Do you do that?
I would say it depends on the other items, but there's one thing you can really leverage with the bushel, is that if you get it as a silver on day 1, then you get this mushroom event that improves it automatically.
So
in this way, it's really good.
So okay, on a scale from 1 to 10, like okay, within this framework, within this paradigm of you can lose rounds, you don't care about MMR, you just want to get to 10 wins. On a scale of 1 to 10, how you rate bushel as a starting item on Pig, like 1 to 10?
I would say it's pretty good, like 7, 8.
7, 8.
Another items, there are items that I would prioritize more.
And you would click. So if you see the bushel, you click the mushroom event for the bushel upgrade, right? You'd go.
Yes.
Okay, so you'd go bushel upgrade to get like diamond bushel day 2, for example.
That's right. And the thing is that these mushroom events are very, very common on day 1 and day 2. It is possible that they just happen every time. So if you do that, you have like diamond bushel at day 3.
So you can focus on other stuff. I can see how it's different for you. Like I think if you're playing for just purely 10, I think throwing day 1 potentially for a diamond bushel on day 2 is maybe playable sometimes. Although I fail to see. My issue is still like it feels hard to make Diamond Bushel work, like do enough to lift you up in the mid game there, because the activities are kind of like mediocre. I feel like still.
Well,
Yeah,
there is one more item that is a bit overlooked right now, and it's the flagship.
The
Sorry,
what?
model ship.
The model
Model
ship.
ship.
I mean, it's a silver item though now. It's hard to find. Is the issue? It's like turtle shell basically.
Yes, this is a problem.
I mean,
Obviously,
that's
but
the
you have
obvious.
this.
That's the item that the model ship. But go ahead.
No, but the thing is that you only need one of these things, right? You want you can have shield enchant or you can have the model ship, and both of these would work for you. And because of how the game is structured, the leveling right now, you can get one of these most of the times, but you will get them later.
all right. Let's carry it here. We've been talking about this for some time now.
Sorry,
Levan, do you have any like small thing that you want to end on, or something you missed, something you want to say?
Yeah, I would also add that you can look for some, because right now you can roll all the shops again, which is I also find very useful. So you can look for shield enchants in the shield shop because it appears quite often. So if you're lucky, you can get like shielded matchbox or something.
Kev is
so
an
that's
obscene. Kev is obscene. Kev is a S tier vendor.
Yeah, it is quite good. And one thing that makes Pygmalion pretty good to like farm resources is that you have a way to like prevent people from doing their loops with Fort. And this is a big thing. At least I found it a big thing that if the opponent have Fort, then they usually win, and if I have the Fort, then I usually win.
All right. Yo, Levan, thanks a lot, man. Different perspective here, so thanks for joining and sharing your thoughts.
Yeah, thanks a lot. See you guys. Bye bye.
Let's bring another guy in.
On to the next esteemed guest.
I think Trav was next in line. Let's see here.
I think that is correct.
Yo, Trav. Here.
Hi. Can you?
Yo.
Welcome, esteemed guest.
Thanks. So my name is Sixten. I'm rank 9, and I've been dually exclusively for pretty much 4 months, I think now. So since game's release.
Hello, fellow dually enjoyer.
You're that guy, dude. I've been beside you for some time. Sixten?
Yeah. So it's been weird because originally Dooley was like the worst hero, you know. So like, I felt like a hipster playing him. And then, of course, Monitor Lizard came and we became public enemy #1. But so that's why I love this new patch, because now everyone thinks that Dooley is trash. Like you go to the subreddit and it's like, oh my god, Dooley is dead finally. But actually, I think Dooley is secretly the best hero. And Snacer has already kind of explained why. So
what do you have to say?
Yeah. So if you play ranked right now, the only way actually to gain MMR is to play Dooley and play Red Cores or Burn Core, and then concede at day 8, pretty much. That will let you. I'm not kidding. It's basically like playing Burn Core last patch, because the big thing is last patch playing Dooley was still a bit of a coin toss, because you still face other Doolies, right? So even if you had like an insane Lizard build, you know, with Diamond Gamma Ray day 6, you could still face another Dooley that had a better build. But now that no one else plays Dooley in ranked, if you just get a good like burn build going, you will pretty much destroy all Vanessas and most pigs until day 8. And that's why you have to concede on day 8, because day 8 onwards, you can't compete anymore. But obviously this strategy isn't fun. So right now I'm playing in normal instead to farm tickets. But that's pretty much how I think the most optimal way to play is currently. And I think Dooley is super strong. Like all his best items are on bronze. So you can consistently force, for example, Micro Dave, cool LEDs, not Metronome, but Uzi, for example, is another super strong item. on the burn core, and then on the crit core, for example, Alpha Ray is bronze, Tesla core is bronze, and those are on the weapon vendor. So it's super easy to force his best items, and then you just farm XP for the rest of the game. And so you power level, get the enchant, and then depending on how good the enchant is, you might continue even after day 7. So for example, if you get a freeze core or a haste core on crit core, I think it's correct to perhaps continue until day 9. But the problem is day 10. Day 10 essentially is a massive power spike. So even if you have a perfect build, I would say there is still too much of a risk at like losing. Even if you have like a super strong burn build or a super strong friend build, you can still face like a Vanessa with haste at start.
Honestly,
and like
the concede strat, I feel like you like okay in the last patch it was like okay I face an opponent, I see there are 0 losses, I'm like oh I'm afraid. In this meta, face the Vanessa for example, they're at like 1 win, like 6 losses. I'm like I'm scared as well because like they can have
Exactly,
like
yeah.
what the like I faced like no win Vanessa with like insane stuff on their board, and it's like
Yeah, that's the problem. You can't. Last patch, you were able to predict based on how many wins they had, because that's the thing. Last patch was extremely consistent, right? Like it was super predictable. Like sure, they had fiery. Like I'm known for hating fiery rebirth. I think that's and bonk. I think those are the by far most frustrating skills in the entire game, because you can't predict if the opponent has a fiery rebirth. They could have gotten it on like day 6, and so even if they lost all their games before that, and then they got the fiery rebirth, there was no way of predicting. But other than that, last patch was super predictable, right? Like everyone forced monitor lizard or burn. So, and most of your opponents were dualies. So I felt like last patch, it was super easy to predict if you were going to win in the late game. Whereas now, because everyone has access to all of these crazy skills and enchants, there is no way of predicting if you're favored in the late game anymore. And that's why I don't think the late game is worth playing on any hero. Like even if you have a great pig build with like a fort, you can still lose to another pig and another Vanessa. So like I think
on day 1 of the patch I was like having this insane like crook hydra. I had like shiny regal blade, haste that lateral gives my full board haste on the second one. I was on day 10 0 losses like the last day, and IQ and I face 0 second instant infinite buffer combo with icy pufferfish that froze my whole board instantly on second 0. So I had like this most insane board ever, and I fucking got OTK comboed by a pufferfish stuff like infinite freeze combo. So
right. And I think the earliest day that you can start facing bullshit enchants is around day 7. That's the thing. Like a few times you might high roll like level 10 on day 6, but that's extremely rare. But from day like 7 onwards, people will have all kind of crazy, enchants, and also the skills. That's another major thing, and why I think crit core is maybe the best core right now. If you want to get 10 wins, because there is this skill that you might have heard of called building crescendo. It's like a pretty good skill, I would say, possibly the best skill right now. And that skill, it so happens that the skill, the crit skill vendor only has like, I think, maybe there is a pool of like 10 at most on Dooley. So, and you can reroll. So essentially, if you get the crit skill vendor on Dooley from a level up like day 7, there is like a maybe 65 or 60% chance to find a crescendo. Don't quote me on the percentage, but it's really high. It's like absurdly high for how strong the skill is. So the way I play crit core is, if I have a crescendo day 7 or a day 8, I play for 10 wins. If I don't, I concede. And this strategy, I can promise you, if people start doing this strategy in ranked, they will climb like crazy, because crescendo on crit core, I think that's the strongest build right now, because you scale so fast. Like you get to 100% crit within 3 seconds, and then the core just charges your Tesla core.
Crescendo on crit core is ridiculous. It's just, I mean, Crescendo is good on every build. It's just like double the effectiveness of like active effects.
I mean, people talk about Bellista. I think Bellista is bait because it's a silver item, and I believe that any build that revolves around a silver item to work properly is trash in ranked, because you cannot force silver items. You cannot force a turtle shell. You cannot force a crook, and for that reason, you cannot be certain that you're gonna go 10-0 or 7-0, right?
Honestly,
So
I concur. I think like the consistency
yeah,
of last meta was caused by the fact that the Rays were
correct.
bronze, all of them. So
Right, and that's the thing. Duel's best items are all bronze. Tesla Core, bronze. Alpha Ray, bronze. Uzi, bronze. The cores, bronze, etc., etc. The only items that are silver and good in Duely are Ballista and Metronome. And I think Metronome is the big thing that makes the red cores kind of hit and miss, because you don't have haste on the red cores, right? Like Companion Core already has haste built in. But if you brick on like a Metronome on the red cores, you're gonna struggle a lot, because haste is necessary. I would say after like day 5, if you don't have haste on the red course, you will still lose because you're not fast enough, right?
yeah,
You will
it's
still lose a crook,
they,
for
they
example.
feel
because,
cranky in the
yeah,
late game from last patch.
so
I can say at least.
yeah, so the bottleneck for the red course is finding haste. But if you can find haste, I think they're still really good up until around day 8. But if you then find like a crescendo or a freeze core from the enchant, I think you're still fine. And then we have the burn core, but there was already another guy here who spoke why that's so great. I think burn core, if you concede, is also a great core, because it's super strong day 1 to 3, and then after like day 4 and 5, it's a bit more risky to play it, because the problem with burn right now is that so many people are playing shield-based builds, right? Like Pig loves shielding, Vanessa loves shielding, Dooley loves shielding with brick buddy, so there is a lot of anti-burn like builds running around. So there is always a risk that even if you have a great microdave, they can still have like a ton of shield, and then your damage source is too slow, right? So I think that the burn core currently, even if it's strong, it's unfavored in the current meta game because there is so much shielding. Whereas the crit core, for example, has a lot of fast regular damage, so it's not as weak into shielding. And then for the friend core, I personally don't think the friends core is good at all, because it's so important to find the Ballista, and it's a silver item. And so when I play the friends core, I maybe get like a Ballista 1 every 3 or every 2 games. So if I go to ranked, then that's like a 50 or 60% a chance of actually gaining MMR, which is, I don't think that's good enough. Whereas on the crit core, all I need to find is an Alpha Ray, and that's a bronze item. And there are like 3 different shops where Alpha Ray is super common to find.
I mean, like
so
last
yeah.
patch, I feel like the Alpha Ray build was competitive with the other builds still as well. Like it was fine. The just playing
For
that
sure,
early
yeah.
game as well.
It
Like
was,
the Alpha Ray.
yeah,
And now it's the same basically. Maybe it's even better. Maybe right now the Alpha Ray. I mean, missing better right now.
right.
But it's not the same as last patch. So now it's still fine. Like it's consistent. It's the same.
Yeah, Alpha Ray's biggest enemy last patch was Lizard builds, but they're gone now, right? That's the thing. Like last patch, the reason why red cores were bad was because there also existed a companion core and burn core, which had these insane builds. But now those builds have been nerfed.
I mean,
so the red core,
honestly, the main enemy of crit core last patch I think was LEDs. Actually, I think LEDs fucked you so
yeah,
hard.
that's true. Yeah.
And now they're
So
kind of gone.
I think that the sleeper, like meta killer or the best sleep, like in 2 weeks, my prediction is that everyone will be playing Dooley in ranked, like everyone. Because
No,
people
please
will
say it ain't
realize
so. Don't.
it's so weird, because Dooley should be the hero that's the weakest in the early game and the strongest in the late game. That's been like, Crip has been saying it since like before the game came out. Dooley has shit early game, but then he scales in late game. But now it's like the opposite. Dooley has the best early game, and then somehow he's now the weakest in the late game. But if you only care about getting MMR, it doesn't matter that he's weak in the late game, because you can just concede. Like, the only thing that matters is winning, right? And not losing. So the hero that's the best day 1 to 7, that's the best hero for climbing. But I don't think it's very fun to concede. So that's why I play normal instead right now, and farm tickets, because I hope we get the rank change.
16. Can we get a fast tier list from you with core tier list?
Oh, core. Well, it depends if you concede or not, right? So
with conceding, because you're
okay.
talking
With
about
conceding, it's probably burn. Okay, it depends how early you're comfortable conceding. If you concede as early as like day 4 and day 5, I think burn core far and away, because burn core is so strong day 1. But so burn core.
Yeah, wait. Let's do it without conceding. Actually.
Okay, without conceding. I would say crit core probably is the best core. I think it's tough. It's either crit core or burn core, but like they have different strengths and weaknesses, right? And then I think there's like a distant gap from the second place to third, and I think third is probably friends core. And then honestly, the last 3 cores, I don't play them, right? Like there's maybe like every 10 dually game, I don't get one of these 3. So I can't comment on the last 3 because I never touched them. I think they're all pretty weak. All right.
Okay, dude, that was really concise and you were spitting facts. Do you have anything else?
I think more people should try dually. And I think that Tig is actually the worst hero. I know a lot of people are like complaining right now about Matchbox and like Port, but I think he's secretly still the worst hero because of consistency.
Sixten,
Like
after today, I am in your camp. I've been burned by the Matchbox, not my opponents. I've been the one getting burned.
Yeah, so I'm like the #1 dually defender. I think we're still the best hero, unfortunately, for the people who celebrated like our demise. And I think until we get our like MMR like rework, I think rank will always be kind of unfun to play if you want to climb, because currently the only way to gain MMR, I think, at top is to concede, and no one likes conceding. So that's why I don't personally want to play rank right now, because obviously I could probably gain MMR by conceding, but there's no like, it's just a number, right? Like it doesn't actually like I don't gain anything from ranking up.
It's too expensive in this patch to even
concede.
It's
too expensive.
You do it too much.
Exactly.
I've gotten so fucked on the RNG on the chest. I have to like buy my skins with gems or some shit later.
One last.
Okay. What's the last?
One last thing, and then we wrap it up.
Sure.
I wanna get everyone's input on what do you guys think. I'll just make a statement and see if you guys agree or not. This patch is more RNG, like slots machine, more RNG than it is skill compared to before.
I think that's correct. I think this is the most because for as much as people hated the last patch, I think it was really easy to climb if you were good at the game last patch. It was easy to force, and it was easy. I felt like there was more ability to predict the strength of your opponent last patch. Whereas now, after day 7, it's like playing like a casino game, or like rolling the dice essentially. So I would say that this is the patch with the least amount of skills. Like the skill ceiling is the lowest it's ever been, and I think that's why the top players right now are losing MMR when they play, because frankly, it's hard to express your skill currently because you can still lose to a bunch of RNG essentially.
I agree. This is what I meant with consistency. I like the last patch because it was very consistent, and you could play, if you play always your odds, you were like always getting ahead. But now it's high rolly. That is the issue, and rock paper scissory. So while I still think like always is saying this in chess, like Q3. Obviously RNG is cutting out, and therefore you can still probably somehow determine who's still doing better plays than others. I still think you just like for general, you just lose a lot more, even if you're playing like optimal, whatever strategy is the most winning one, you will still lose quite a bunch more now.
Right, Raresh, do you have any comment on?
I mean, so I'm reading Alwest in chat here is revolting about this call combo. I'm like, oh no, we anger the French. I presume he's French. He sounded French. I'm stereotyping. Anyways, regardless of whether that's true or not, I feel like last meta we had like this game plan, and like we can say like, oh, skill is just like, how do you find skill? Like, is it about having like game knowledge? Is game knowledge a valid component of skill, or is more about creativity that you count as skill? Like, for example, can you say like, if you have like this formula for winning the game that you just know because you memorized it from just playing the game a lot, is that skill? Or because someone would disagree with that, I think some would say that, oh no, skill is creativity. It's having intuition. It's having sort of like flexibility and such. So it depends on the definition of skill as well, whether it's more skillful than last patch. Because right now, let's say, because it's harder to win, there's more room for skill expression. Because in the last meta, if you say like, oh, the best play is obvious, then it's less skillful because it's obvious the best play. Now it's the best play is more subtle. It's harder to find. Now it's more skillful because you have to put more work to get there to the best play. So in that sense, it's more skillful. But if you're saying like, oh, being able to climb, if you're good, then like if the meta being less RNG or more RNG means that you can climb, then you can climb. Obviously, it's harder now in that sense. But
Yeah, so I'd just like to respond to that. I think last meta, why I personally loved it is because it felt like everyone mastered Lizard. Like all of us, at least like in Legend, everyone tried to play the best possible Lizard build and the best burn. So everyone played the same like deck, if you will, but still you could gain an edge. I'm not talking about conceding. I'm talking like maximizing health in the early game and going for like a tempo brick body day one instead of a Lizard to win day one. Like there were a few like these little things you could do to boost your win rate. Whereas now I don't feel like you can really do the same thing because so much of winning the late game just boils down to luck currently. Like, did I face an opponent with even more like stronger skills than me? Like I feel like currently it's harder to feel like you're rewarded for playing well. Whereas last patch I felt rewarded for like making these micro decisions, but I don't know. It obviously can change as the patch progresses.
good take. Should we move
All
on to
right,
the next esteemed guest?
1 sec, Radesh, do you agree or disagree with that statement, or?
Yes, I agree.
You agree? Okay. I mean, with the first statement, this patch is more RNG than player skill than other patches.
Oh, is the patch okay? The first okay. It's more RNG. I don't know. I'm kind of
Don't know.
being swayed by the Al West angle here. Kinda. I don't have an opinion on this yet. I'm more maybe it's less RNG maybe. I mean, I don't know. It's weird. It's more RNG. I don't know. It's hard to say.
Yeah. I think
Alright,
if
well,
it's
thanks for
if
having
it's
me.
yeah, okay, thank you, man. Thanks for joining. I think if the patch is like, if we can compare it to port patch, then I would say it's more player skill. If I would compare it to if it's like port patch, but I don't know yet. If I want to compare it to port patch. All right, we got Mono.
That's
Is Mono
Sweaty.
joining?
It's ready.
Yep, Sweaty.
Yo, Sweaty,
Welcome.
finally. Let's go. Give us your hot takes.
Okay, wait.
Sing for
Okay.
us. Sing us your team song.
Dude, why do you have fucking so many names? What do we call you here?
Four
As a guest?
big guys grabbing on
It
my
has to be four
thighs.
guys.
My
right.
eyes. Blow up my back like it's 4th of July. Yeah.
The 4th of July.
Yeah. Set up the sound and stuff, right?
It's
Some
good. It's
people
good.
are very loud.
Sounds
Okay.
fine.
I know that I'm usually quiet, so I'm waiting for honors. But yeah, okay. So,
It's bit.
well, everybody kind of talked about a lot of things already, so I can just kind of add on to stuff. But by the way, I played like 2 or 3 hours of the patch on the first day when I was in call with Radesh and Snazzer on that day, and that's it. So I'm basically an expert, right? Anyway, so 610 talked about silvers a bit, where it's like on companion, for example, it's like bad because you need to spike a silver, and I mean overall the patch feels like you just wanna spike silvers generally right now, so you could just play for that and just hope for the like backups. And I think people forgot brick body force field is the backup.
Big body force.
Is it real? No way, dude.
I came in here. I wasn't gonna come in, but then I remembered that nobody talked about brick body force field. We have to talk about it. I mean, like,
It can't
think
be
about
real,
it.
right?
I mean, think about it. So you pick companion, right? And what do you play, right? Like you're already playing brick to like.
All right, I moved him. What else? Who else?
No.
That guy's
put it
fucking
back.
cooking, dude. He's cooking, dude.
He's cooking. No, bring him back. This is
Okay,
That was
censorship.
Did
unfair.
you-
No. I was generally like,
done
yeah, you're
cooking?
right.
This is censorship.
No.
Oh, actually, good idea. Like, actually, like, no cap. Hold up.
Yeah.
Let's.
Sorry, give us more of those good ideas. I
Yeah.
wanna play those.
Actually, like,
So
don't spook
Are you
him.
done cooking or what?
you. Oh wait, I have to mute. and you did stream when you kicked me. Anyway, so you're waiting till your belly, right? You need something in play, and it's usually brick. So you just slot in the force field, and if you're missing, like you're just playing force field, and force field is already like one of the best things in the game if you can spike skills, and you see a lot of
Okay,
skills
I can see the
eventually.
premise because so I can see the angle. So you're
It's a
saying
backup.
Brick Buddy kind of farms weapon builds on its own already,
Yeah, like
like
you're already playing Brick Bunny on board, and the rest of your board is like kind of AFK early. Like you're playing with some shit like I don't know, fucking Carl or like I don't know. There's like nothing you can play on front core to be honest.
Lizard,
like, to win.
obviously.
I mean, yeah, Lizard.
But
I mean, that unironically, Lizard is like the other options you can play. You're either playing.
I can see it. You're like beat the weapon players with just a brick on its own because it's Brick Buddy. It's kind of broken.
And then you just beat the turtle guys by slotting in force field.
Aha! You big brain.
Yeah, I can see it. I can see it. Yeah, I forgot about it. We talked about it before the patch came.
Yeah. I talked about it.
Yeah,
I talked about
and
it to you, and then you baited some people by showing it on stream, and then the ladder had break force fields.
Oh no. The secret tech unleashed in the world.
Everybody called them Swedish bravest soldiers. Yeah, I loved it.
Oh no.
Okay, you got
Also-
anything else?
Yeah, there's a bunch of things. So, burn core with just weapons is honestly just solid. I think because burn is almost like weapons, and you can spike something like mixed message and stuff. It kind of helps.
And what else?
I mean, just meta
He's
talk.
like a guy.
It's mostly it. I mean, I think personally, I think Vanessa is like the best hero of this patch. Probably like if you actually like play out the whole games or whatever, because it's like everybody Dooley is like most consistent, obviously, but and like straightforward. But you
Wait,
have
you
to,
serious
like,
now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, but on Vanessa, like everybody has to kind of spike shit, and Vanessa has the most options to spike, while Dooley is like solid, but like you can't spike. So if you're playing the whole game, you might as well just play Vanessa and just like you're just rolling. Either you're spiking like something for a single weapon, or you're spiking something for like turtle, stuff like that.
Is Dooley second then, or?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know. It's like close because Dooley is like very consistent, and you don't need much.
So everyone thinks the pig is the worst, right?
Yeah, I don't think Pig is playable.
I've
I mean,
played Pig
it's like
today. My suspicion was that Pig was doing like the Vanessa stuff but better, but now I'm like, no, it's just the Vanessa stuff but worse. After today, I'm like, I was salty yesterday because I lost like.
Beefy's gonna pass Radish.
Dude, Beefy, no. I'm in danger.
Another thing?
Well, what is Beefy playing, guys?
Yeah, he's playing the sleep tech.
Not the
I
sleep
thought you were
tech.
playing it too.
The bed climbing tech. The real tech this patch. It's the
Another
bed.
Good,
there's like a general
I've
thing
played ranked every game, man. Every day.
There's like a general thing about the patch also, just not like meta. It's some stuff is like a little too much. I think like the IC being in the pool for level 10s is like a little too goofy.
Oh yeah, the level 10 IC is
Yeah, I mean like you the enchants on them are like fun, and you can like plan around with it, like find techs like seaweed that we found today and stuff like that, or like lemonade stand. Those are good, but the IC is just like usually too much. Oh yeah, another thing about force field, rapid thaw. The usual issue of force field was freezes. We have rapid thaw now.
Wait,
That's
they
another
killed
thing.
all the slows, and you have rapid thaw now. Wait, it's insane.
True. Don't forget about the fact that Brick and the Theft don't line up. Anyway,
Shh! Don't speak. Don't. You see the Adam. Trusters, Brick Buddy.
no. Which, by the way, like if you get a high level Carl, it also like turbocharges with even with like two friends. Yeah, almost good.
All right, what else?
I think that's about it. I think Vanessa is like just really hard, and we're getting the moment of like the boat patch, which is like you have to. It's not like you're locking into a build as soon as you queue into the game. It's like, what do I spike? You play that. You're holding items, and then like the best thing is the first thing you find.
How strong is Vanessa day one actually? Like if you don't concede, like
think it's
How
fine.
many games will be good?
It's okay. Yeah, I think like you bunch of weapons leveling up, and then you're in a good position.
Like barrel is fine day one. Barrel is very good day one actually.
Yeah, that's
like,
the best.
You can
And
find
then
either silver barrel starter or you can have a bronze barrel, which
Just
with a bunch of shit.
put weapons
and
in
it's
play.
just
Find
fine.
like a +20 or a +10 everywhere. Like it's
Yeah, Vanessa day ones are just like really cracked.
okay,
Which,
can we
by
do
the way,
a
you can
starting
also.
item tier list with her? Like just fast starting items.
I
Okay,
mean,
what's the best barrel?
Battle, DB.
And then it's
silence.
double barrel, barrel and double barrel.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Silencer is fine. I
I mean,
think.
those two are absurd. Yeah, Silencer, Switchblade is like after Silencer probably, because it's
Silencer
not a
is
real
third.
item.
Switchblade.
Oh, Shark
Yeah.
Claws.
Then?
Shark Claws is OP.
Shark Claws. Oh yeah, Shark Claws are better than Switchblade probably.
Yeah.
Okay.
The what was it called again? The buffing your weapons for 10 damage or something. It's actually okay on day one.
Oh, Honing Steel.
Yeah, honing steel.
Honing.
Honing is
Yeah,
also kind of okay-ish.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
good.
honing is like a real item. The Switchblade goes right after all the real items because you're selling Switchblade as soon as possible. And
Yeah.
on Vanessa you also have like the trap line. You have Cannonade. You have, which by the way, like Cannonade and trap are the same item. It's just like if you cannot find trap for like forever, and then you just happen to find like day 5 Goldie into Cannonade, it works. It's
I
the
feel
same
like
item.
Treb is better in the sense that it has
Yeah,
the
it,
haste
it,
proc.
it burns. Oh,
Wait,
and
are there
the
more
burn.
starting items, or are we done with the starting items?
Yeah,
I
probably.
think that
Oh, Preserver. Is that in? Or
Oh
is
yeah,
that...
preserver is just like the reason why like Vanessa is.
Is
also
that-
Okay,
real.
where?
I haven't found it as a starting item yet. Is that in the pool for starting items, the Preserver?
I have not had it.
I saw somebody saying that they had it. But...
I'm not sure it's in the starting pool. It is? Someone said it is. I've had it. Okay. Then
Okay,
it is.
Love Life
Yeah,
said it
I
is.
think-
Okay,
if it
Okay,
is,
where do
then-
we put it?
okay, yeah.
Where
It's
do we
like
put it?
very high. It's very
Probably
good.
after the like real damage, like after battle and DB.
Double. All right, is that third?
It's like S tier.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
Anything
like,
else?
if you're taking it, it's like you need to find you need skills to win day one basically.
I don't know.
I
I
don't
wouldn't.
think
I would
there's, like,
not.
anything.
I would pick it more day on position 5 there. I think like a silencer is more real. To be fair, I would pick the silencer over the life preserver.
I guess, okay. I guess in practice, we face a lot of like...
Silencer is like actually not that good because the single weapons are like not crazy. Like you need to spike a lot of shit to play single weapon.
I think in
Okay,
practice,
yeah, fair.
the life preserver wins a lot, or would win a lot if I fucking find it. But it would win a lot because lots of players have like very weak boards on day one. But like if we're playing like against, let's say we're playing ourselves, I'm playing against myself every game, then I think preserver is like a bit less good because a real board
Yeah,
has like
that's what I'm thinking
some
too.
scaling on day one. Like have like Barbery outscales the preserver.
Level
health.
2 preserver is like extra strong too because the bigger HP pool you get 600 HP basically.
Yeah.
Do we want to share it then? Share third or
Nah.
I mean, they're just good
fourth?
items. I don't know.
fourth then?
Yeah.
It also depends on like what you can play. Like do you know how to transition from like the preserver into something else? Like do you know how to
I
like...
think that's another like transitioning is like a big thing about like playing on acid.
Yeah, 'cause,
you
like,
have to.
It depends on how you know how to play
swap
the game
around.
as well. Because if you just like
Another thing
having
with
a weapon is
Vanessa
easy.
is like you can survive on like nothing for a really long time. Like you can, if it's like not that good, you can just like upgrade a fucking ammo weapon. Like you upgrade, you got a silver DB starter, you upgrade the cannon, that's winning. Like it's just strong. Like, or you find the reload for DB and it's just like it's winning you for a while. Like the ammo weapons are like 95 to 90% of what they used to be, and it's like strong. Like
Yeah, yeah. And then you have time to find your total shell and stuff.
yeah, and you don't even exactly need the turtle shell, but like, it's like one of the things. It's either turtle shell or like trap, and trap is like people are saying like trap is kind of hard to find. It's actually not. It's because it's a burn item. I guess we don't have a burn item node anymore. I think, or do we? But it's like fairly common. I feel like.
I mean, I think Kev is the turtle vendor basically.
Yeah,
But-
Cav.
But like,
Wait, so Vanessa, you like Vanessa and you like going Treb. That's the build that you like
I mean,
the most. or-
Treb. Okay, sorry.
I mean, it's not. I like the build that you find first.
Yeah.
It's like you could play like a fucking Reynard build. And
The Reynard build.
because you found it first, and Vanessa has like, oh yeah, another thing people mentioned, but like nobody put it in anywhere. Proboscis are like real builds, and I think Vanessa does Proboscis best.
Dude,
You
Creep is
have a
ahead of me
kickstart.
then. Creep is playing Proboscis all day, every day.
Yeah, like that build is like real and like all the characters when you find it, but it's like you need some kind of scaling damage on it more so than the procs, because the procs are like mostly the easy part for like all the heroes, honestly. Like you can get it set up, but you need some damage.
Yeah, like in this meta, it's easy to like make stuff happen a lot, but it's hard to like make the things happening meaningful, basically.
The bases like you need base sources all the time on everything, and if you that's why like turtle is like a base scaling item. It's
Dude,
insane.
the MVP of this patch is fucking Artisan Dunes. It's pay 5 gold for 2
I've
bar.
clicked. Okay, I've played like 5 or 6 games. I clicked every artisan dunes plus 5 and like fucking damage on my Teslas. Oh my god.
Actually, we're poppers,
Yeah.
we're poor.
Anything that gives you like actual like damage numbers is insane.
All right.
I have
are we
like
done
one
here?
more question. In general, like, so this patch shifted quite a bit to the charge mechanic, right? How do we feel about that in general?
It feels like a gimmick to me. I feel like we're gonna move past this, at least partially. Like, I think someone will stay, but they'll change some of this partially at least to something else. Or I hope they do. I think it's if the meta stays like this, it's like it feels too gimmicky. Like it feels too like in. Does it make sense what I'm saying here? I'm hard to I can't express it properly. Sorry. Like,
Yeah, I get you. I feel like they're like trying this mechanic
like
out.
if
you
this
know,
was
and
the
then-
game forever, if the game of Bazaar was until the end of times was just different items with charge on them, I don't think that's good in the long term. I think that's we should like
I'm on
no.
the like limit testing conspiracy. I think they're testing. They like fixed the
Yeah.
memory leak, and now they're like limit testing. So half of the charge might be gone next patch, but
Yeah.
right now they need to test.
I feel
so
like
that
I
they're
feel like
sending
it's
everything.
like PoE. You know, you guys have played PoE or know
Yeah,
about
No.
PoE?
I've played a little too much.
Yeah. so in Path of Exile they usually do seasons like 3 months, and then they introduce a new mechanic into the game, and in that season they have a lot of that mechanic because they introduced that mechanic, right? And then after that season, they decide if they're gonna keep that mechanic in the core game or not. And if they keep it, they will not keep it as much as they did during the season. You know, it'll keep a little bit of it. You know, so it will not be charged on everything. You know, it will be charged on a little bit. And then they find another mechanic to test out, and then they put that in the core game. You know, so I feel like they're just testing the charging mechanic right now, see how good it is, and then maybe not everything will have charge in the end, but if people like it, they will keep it. You know.
I feel like charging itself is fine. I feel like though there are two things. One, we have too many charging items at the moment, and I don't think charging should be the sole decider. If you upgrade an item that always charges, numbers have to go up. So I think that charging should only be part of leveling up and not always be the thing that gets improved if you level up. And I feel like it's just a little bit too oppressive at the moment. So I think like they should like revert a little bit, but I don't mind having it in the game. It's a fun mechanic. It shouldn't just be like the whole game evolve around it.
Oh yeah, no.
And I feel like
Charge is fine as a mechanic. It's completely okay. I think it was fine, but I'm just thinking it's too much of it right now. It's like the whole meta is just like charge loops chains. It's
yeah.
Okay, I have two things and I'm gonna go. So I think I like Dooley and Manette about the same, but different reasons, right? So Dooley, we have a super streamlined build from the last patch that we like already know how to play and make all the decisions. While Vanessa, we just have to like properly learn how to play again. It's the same thing as both patch. And the other thing is, I was counting the XP earlier. I'm still not sure. I kind of quick counted, but I think you need to click 34 extra EXP. 34.
34? Okay.
Yes. From the... Okay, so 34 extra EXP starting from day 2. You need to click to hit the... this is counting fights as 2 EXP. So every hard fight is +1. And you click 34 to hit level 10 on day 6 by the end.
Okay.
because the level 6 is the like
Wait,
level 7 is normal.
so you count from day 2, so you're not counting day 1.
Because I mean it's like
Right.
easier to count like that.
Okay.
You need 72
So it's actually
EXP.
yeah.
You get okay. I'll just end it. It's
Yeah.
easier.
Well, I mean, it's
I wanna go
36 then
bathroom
if you take 2 XP day 1, you know.
I was making notes while counting. Okay. I want to go bathroom anyway, so yeah. See ya.
Okay.
On to the
There's
next.
like one. Yeah, there's one comment in the chat I want to point out because I think that is something I have slept on, and probably you as well. It's from Icarus. If it's the same guy, he's a streamer, long time
Oh, yeah.
Hearthstone player and stuff. And he said, I want to add Dooley with Atomic Clock with retooled double cast is destroying charge builds.
Dude.
So
Oh
like,
my god. Okay.
Retooled is
I
everywhere.
have slept on this.
Retooled is everywhere. I swear that skill is
Yeah,
everywhere.
retool is everywhere, but this means like maybe it is like super sleeping tech we have missed to buy atomic clocks, and then when you hit like your retooled skill, which is super easy to get, you have like a multicast atomic clock, and we all know that multicast atomic clock is quite good, but like especially in this meta. Anyway, that is a very good comment. I think I have not done it,
Dude.
but this seems very, very reasonable, powerful pivot option angle to have around.
I want to play Dooley now. That feels oh my god. The cock is dragging me back. No. I have to play Dooley now, so I can play the clock rather, the multicast clock.
I heard you say the other word. Okay.
Anyways.
Let's bring in the last guy. He's been waiting for a long time now.
The last esteemed guest, you mean?
Yep. Slow-mo here. Yeah, he's falling asleep, dude. Like Yo, you're here.
Welcome.
Nice.
The last, but not the least. Well, maybe not the least.
Enlighten
We'll
us.
see if it's the least, but the last for sure. Esteemed guest
Had
of the
to
night.
mute the stream so I didn't hear myself there. I think I actually made a couple notes here. I think
Let me
I
write
don't like the burn.
You want to be slow-mo or as a
It
guest?
doesn't matter. Yeah, sure.
Okay. All right.
Go ahead.
I think the burn core is kind of bad. I do agree that if you're just like hunting for MMR, playing the burn core to 4 and then conceding, pretty great. But I don't think that's a super fun way to play. And I think, you know,
4.
yeah, no, literally. I think after that, it's just done. I think the burn core is over. Like, there's still a lot of blitz builds in this game that are just gonna like nuke your health, right? And the burn core needs time to scale. It's burn, and it's just not gonna win.
All right.
So like Ballista's gonna blitz it. Pig has lots of builds that'll blitz
Just-
it, and Vanessa's got lots of damage builds that'll
Burn
blitz
core
it.
is shit. Mic drop.
Yeah, so the burn core is pretty terrible. I think comp core got shit on a little bit too much because I think comp core Brick Buddy is a super strong build straight off the bat, and then you either play it with Lizard or you play it with Ballista. The guy who said you can't get Ballista until Silver, and that's why I think it's bad, I agree with that, but I do think it's still really easy to find through weapons, medium, friend. There's a lot of like vendors to force Ballista through. And then it's really powerful with metronome and then missiles. You put the two beside each other. So it's like you're getting insane amounts of charge on your ballista. And it's doing insane amounts of damage.
Yeah, sure. Like if you hit Ballista, you are in a very good position. Ballista is probably one of the best items.
And I use the lizard. I find the lizard can cover like very easily until you find the ballista as your damage base.
I have hard time finding it though. I tried a couple of
The lizard
games.
or the ballista?
The Ballista. So I played a couple of games. I have watched a lot of streamers lately, and I feel like surely you can hit it, but it's, I would say, like my estimation would be way below 50%, like 30, 40%
of your runs,
maybe.
or just like
Of the runs. Like
turn
if you look, no. If you look for the Ballista, I feel like it is below 50% angle to hit it if you even want to force it, unless you're like going every single shop you can afford. So what are your like chances? What do you think, like by intuition? Like,
yeah, I'm not sure.
how often do you
I
find?
haven't done the math on it. I think I'd find Ballista by like turn 7, like day 7. Pardon me.
Yeah.
Almost like 60% of the time, pretty easily.
Okay.
It's not
maybe.
like especially especially yeah, but it's all like luck based, you know, and it's all just like your own personal experience playing the game. So maybe
Sure.
you don't hit the friend vendor as often, and then you don't get it as often. I think all the red cores are fantastic, like everyone's been talking about, but I think they've, you know, no one really mentions like the alpha ray is fantastic, right? Like the red cores
Yep.
actually don't mean anything. It's just that the alpha ray is good. So if you don't get the alpha ray, then your red core build is horrible. And I think the alpha ray is almost harder to find than the Bella. Like if we're saying the Bella list is hard to find, like an alpha ray is just as hard.
No way.
You think so?
Alpha
Weapons
ray?
and
Like-
small items.
Well,
I was like,
yeah,
dude,
weapon,
did we
just
say
weapon vendor, you know.
did we say alpha is hard
Yeah,
to find?
but Bella Lista's in weapons, medium,
Yeah, but she's,
friend.
she's
But-
yeah,
okay.
she's silver. That's
Alpha
fine.
ray
Yeah,
is a bronze
I
item.
agree.
Alpha ray
You
is
find it.
like
I do agree that you
99.9% chance
find
of
the
day
alpha
one or
ray
something
early.
like.
And it's easy to upgrade too with your levels. I think. Oh, I also wanted to comment on the fact that I prioritize XP like insanely.
Yeah.
Almost every time I can get it, especially like if I'm offered XP like zero, like turn 0, it's almost an always take. Is if I can
Yeah.
get a second one,
Yeah.
and then you just buy out any shop. It doesn't matter what shop.
Yeah,
it
that's
is,
the
right?
meta we have
you
right
just
now.
buy it out.
That's what we do. We just this meta is just click the
XP
first two
XP,
Yeah.
buy out a shop. Like that's
Yeah.
actually the best build. Like there is no build.
That's
It's
what we
just
do on
XP,
every
XP, buy out whatever you can find.
every hero, every build, everything is just that playstyle. It's just XP shop.
But yeah, no, that was mostly all I wanted to. I think the burn core gets blitzed, so I wouldn't play it past day 4. And I think
Yo.
missiles is a really strong item.
Yeah, before you leave, how do you feel about the patch overall?
I think the patch is, yeah, I think it is less skill, and I think that's specifically because of the what's it called, the level up. Like, so when you get the enchantments, it's just like it's so early. You used to get them so late, and then, you know, by that point everyone was already at like 9 or 8 wins, and
Okay.
now you get the enchantment and you're at like 5
My
wins.
my
and then,
pet peeve.
did I
of
get
this
a good
patch-
enchantment, or did I get poison and I'm playing a non-poison build?
I see.
regarding the level ups, dude? Is no one
It's
else
fully
mad
based on that, in my opinion.
at level 4? I think it's level 4 to 5 or 3 to 4. That's annoying me. It's the Argenta level up, the only silver skill level up. That's
Oh,
tilting
this
me.
silver, yeah, that
Because
one's trash.
It whiffs like so much. And it's
And then
annoying.
sometimes you get and then sometimes you get an insane one.
Yeah, like there's like
Right?
there's
And
good.
it's like,
There's
but I didn't get the
Rapido in
insane.
there.
I didn't
just
get the insane one. They got the insane one.
I just found out today there's Rapido in that fucking level up in the Argenta one.
no,
And I'm like,
yeah,
wait,
and,
you can get that? I'm getting trash for 2 days. What? Huh? God
What's
damn.
the one? There's one that Brick Buddy's a vehicle, and there's one that like reduces all your items by like 10%.
command
cooldown if
ship?
you're playing. Yeah, that one. That one's insane too.
God damn it, dude.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
a lot of fantastic ones you can get. So yeah, no, I think the comp core is super legit, and I think Brick Buddy like scales almost as fast as the barrel scales. So if we're saying the barrel is great, then Brick Buddy's great. You know?
All right.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
that's nice.
Nice. Precise thoughts.
Damn, we had a lot of guests. A lot of high ranked came in.
Oh
I
my
didn't think
Dooley
that we would have.
Cortez.
Insane lineup of
I'd throw
guests
a
today.
Dooley Cortez.
Yeah,
think,
that was crazy.
I think the crit core is the best, and then I think.
Oh, yeah, tier list.
Sorry, I just saw someone's comment.
Yep.
I think the crit core is the best, and then I think the companion core is probably the best.
Second best?
After that, yeah, the
Oh,
second.
wait, we
best.
do S A B F. Okay. What is
Crit
S?
core. S
Yeah.
S tier is crit core, and then A tier is companion core, and then
Alright.
everything else is like pretty much the same, and then armor's at the bottom by a
Okay.
lot.
Alright.
Armor's like F tier, you know, like put a couple
I
spaces,
agree on that.
put a couple spaces between
I concur.
everything else.
I also want to acknowledge that I agree, and I want to change my companion core and burn core ranking there if I can.
All
Like,
right.
I think like I got convinced a lot that Brick Buddy is back on the menu, boys, and therefore Brick Buddy love, and bring the companion core up to A tier.
Dude, Snazzer kills of Brick Buddy, his old passions is ignited. Like his yes, my old love, you're still alive.
Also fine, like if you're not, if
Dude,
you don't
you
find that
forgot your
Ballista,
friend, man.
if you don't find that Ballista, the lizard can it can take you there easily.
Yeah,
Especially because sometimes Ballista doesn't actually beat like a lot of these Pig and Vanessa armor builds, but the lizard destroys them. Like if they're playing their catfish like infinite armor build, and you're playing your lizard's gonna beat the catfish or the pufferfish.
Yo, guys, do Diana kill most builds?
Think I've been farmed once by Diana Dispatch actually. I've been Diana once.
Wait, it's not. Just gonna finish your thing here. What did you want to move down?
No, it's fine. Just have
It's
it like
good now?
this.
Okay, good. All right.
Mamasaur seems pretty insane. I had someone eat my core with the first swing.
Yeah.
I mean, Mama's
Nothing.
always been nice if you can find it and like CDR it and stuff like build.
But
those
that's late game. You know, you kind of throw it in.
It's just
after.
it's hard to find is the issue.
It's a transition.
And
Yeah,
and it's-
I actually versed that today. I got so wrecked. It was Atomic Clock with the multicast that the chatter said, plus plus Mamasaur and battery on her.
Yeah, the multi-clock. I didn't think about this multi-clock retool either, but that just seems like, you know, you see the multi-clock and you just throw it in the back pocket now.
Dude, someone just wrote Shield Bash Dinos in the chat. Dude.
Shield bash dino? I mean, shield bash anything.
Yeah, shield
Snippet anything, yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, I've gotten Shield Bash District Soul before. Like I've been District Soul before by the opponent. The thing, the mob, you know, the Soul District. He said like that thing killed me for a Shield Bash. You know it? The thing?
Mm-hmm.
Actually,
No,
the mob, the district guy, the building, that guy.
Yeah.
That thing, the soul, the heart, the stone, the rock.
Yeah, they had that with
that plus
Bash.
Shield Bash. Fucking just murdered me.
Oh, yeah,
1 second, dude.
Yeah. Soul of the district.
That'd be
Yeah, that
sweet.
guy.
Fucking,
I
it's hard
think-
to say fast. Like I talk fast. How to say soul of the district. It's hard to fucking pronounce. God damn it. Anyways, yeah. Sorry, I'm like sidetracking the conversation here. Go back to what you were saying before. So I'm like. Anyways.
Yeah, all right. I think there's one skill that we missed. That's what is it called again? A mixed message. You know, the one where
Oh.
if you
Yeah.
don't, if you use a non-weapon, you haste the weapon. Like that plus ballista is actually super OP.
Yeah, that's like. I
Yeah,
mean,
but
you
this- that's
still
your
play
only
the
weapon.
metronome because you just want as many charges as possible. But yeah.
Yeah, you can metronome with Aiden or something, you know.
No, I do missiles because it's the ×2.
I don't know. Is
Yeah,
it
but
really worth it
if
you have
you get
if you have that
if you have
skill?
mixed
Yeah,
message,
you like
yeah.
you get in half your mixed messages procs for the missiles. Like I think that's worth it. Is it?
Pardon me.
If you have
if you have mixed message, you know, the skill, then you don't want to have two weapons, right?
yeah, because then if you have only
Oh.
Ballista as your weapon, then they all get funneled into the
If
Ballista
you're-
instead.
Oh yeah, that'd be true.
So you have to like remove your missiles to make it
I don't know, but
guaranteed.
the comp core is still getting charged by the ballista. Sorry, the missiles super fast. So I don't know if that's.
I mean, you have to do the math, but I like
Yeah.
just from like conceptually, like my intuition, it feels like it's less procs that way, but maybe it's not.
I do agree that I think it's less procs on your ballista, but it might be less scaling for your brick buddy as well, so that there's and less charges for your core. So there's definitely the balancing act of it.
Yeah,
I'd
so
have
you
to
have to
test
like math it out and see like
Oh,
what,
I didn't
what's
comment.
the-
Charging station is goated, obviously, but only
Obviously.
But charging station is a golden item, right? So that is
it's hard.
same as Mamasaur. Sometimes you see it, but you know,
Yeah.
of
Yeah,
course
Wait,
do not.
exactly.
hold on,
It's not something you build around for sure.
Is Fiber back or no?
No.
Fiber is
No,
still dead.
I have not seen it.
Oh no!
I mean, it's
Oh.
too good. It's
I mean,
too
it's
good anyway.
insane.
No.
If charging station's a good item,
They are
Fiber
holding
optic.
Deborah hostage. They're
Insane.
holding Fiber hostage. They're holding my hammer and wrench hostage. How
Look at
many
that,
hostages do they
but-
need? Free them. Give me back Deborah. I want to be level 50 by day 10.
how can you design
uh,
charging station? How can you design fiber optics in a way that's balanced? Like, what could you change about it?
Make it bronze so I can play it all the time.
Yeah, exactly. All right, let's
All right, guys. Good chat.
yeah, thank
Thanks
you,
for
thank you.
having me.
Thank you,
Let's end
esteemed
that part
guest.
here. All right, guys, I just want to talk to chat a little bit. Stay. Chat, how do you like this? Like, do you want us to do this more? Do you like having Snas and Radish here as my co-hosts? Do you want us to do it more, or how was it? It was awesome. Weekly podcast. You want to do it weekly? How do you guys like it, Snas and Radish?
I think you're a very good host, and very, very good at moderating and cutting us off and making time management possible here. I think you were amazing as a host. I liked it a lot.
Thank you, man.
Ditto. Good job. I had fun.
All
Yeah,
right,
same.
nice, man. Radesh, you've been streaming for a long time, right? You're tired?
Yes, I am dead inside and outside, and I have to go get fuel into my body through many means. I need water, I need
Yeah.
food. I am a
Yeah,
husk
thank
of
you,
my
man.
former self.
Yeah. Thanks a lot. I did like a last minute thing here, and yeah, I probably should have told you before, but yeah, I just thought of it kind of late. So
I know it's fine. It was a
Yeah.
cool opportunity, so it's fine. We'll brush the downsides under the rug. It's fine.
All right. If they want it weekly, I mean, we could try it weekly.
I'm down whenever.
Obviously,
Like,
you guys are, yeah.
just hit me up. Like it's.
I'm down for it. I'm like at the moment I'm spending way too much time with this game, so I'm down for it.
All right. Yeah, it seems like most people really liked it. I mean, if they stayed, they like it. I guess the other ones left. All right. Yeah. Thank you guys. Is there anything you wanna end with?
I'm hungry.
All right.
All right. Yeah, no, nothing. Thank you so much. Hope you enjoyed it all and hopefully do it again.
Yeah. Thanks for joining, guys, and all the guests. Thank you. GG's. Bye bye.
GG's. Have a
Bye.
good day. Goodbye.